Aoba! Estamos ao vivo. Deixa eu ver o meu som. Eita, tá bom. Pra mim tá bom. Eu acho que pra vocês também. Então, sejam todos muito bem-vindos na live de hoje. A gente vai fazer a rota da ROXY Lalonde. Não confundir com Rose Lalonde. São pessoas diferentes, por incrível que pareça. Aí, vamos ver se a gente faz a do Dirk também, mas eu não garanto nada. Porque a dele parece ser grande, talvez a gente possa começar a dele, não sei. Vai depender do rendimento. Aí tá, vamos continuar aqui. Como eu não pude fazer live na quarta, aí eu tô fazendo no sábado. You spent a good few days fucking around with your newest friends. They seem to be on their respective paths toward something. You're not exactly sure if self-actualization is a part of it, but you're trying to not be too bent up about it. This Earth's friend group seems to have a lot of interpersonal complexity. Ele está se referindo ao fato de que as Alpha Kids, elas, assim, são 4. 3 estão gamadas na mesma pessoa. Então, tipo, é um quadrado amoroso. To be fair, you do only really know half of the friendship quadrangle. It's probably past time to meet the other 2 corners of it. See what all the fuss is about. Gather sight of all the drama before you leap to any more judgments. Lembrando que das crianças alfa, das Alpha Kids, a gente já leu a rota da Jane, que foi a primeira das Alpha Kids que a gente leu, junto com a Fefairy, não sei se vocês se lembram, que é uma troll. E a gente leu depois a rota do Jake, que inclusive é a pessoa que todo mundo tá gamado nesse grupo. Agora falta ver os outros 2. You've thought a lot about what you said to Jake and what you wanted to say but didn't. Your shame at the thought that you might also be erring passively on the side of friendship sloshes uncomfortably in your belly against the fear that you may be choosing too much, wanting too much, changing too much. Because you've thought a lot about what Jade said to you too. That's probably why you bothered to get Roxy's address from Jane. You can't exactly stop making new friends, because you aren't ready to think about what your purpose would be without that. But maybe you could do it the old-fashioned way this time. Showing up on somebody's doorstep via, que eu nunca lembro qual que é a pronúncia. Deve ser via, sei lá. The accepted human method of following directions to their domicile's specific government assigned number seems like it might be a better start than, just zapping directly to them when they're taking a shit or something. Parece que estamos melhorando aí na conduta. Eu vou fazer o seguinte, eu vou tirar essa dúvida, talvez, de uma vez por todas. Via e não vaia. Ok, então é via. Muito que bem. Which is definitely a hypothetical situation and not at all something that happened to you recently. Anyway, o que aconteceu? Taking a shit. Opa. Anyway, you came up with a plan and everything. You're not a real mailman that you know of, but you've grown to appreciate and respect the profession, so you don't mind LARPing it once more. You wonder briefly if there might be other guises under which people might go up to another person's house and knock on their door, but almost none of your friends ever leave their fucking rooms, so you sure wouldn't know. Zap. You zap down the street from her house and walk up the long, scary driveway through the trees, over a bridge, and up to her door. Okay, so not exactly a normal human method. What, were you supposed to stroll all the way to New York from Janice's place? She'd offered you bus money, but then remembered her fortune is tainted. She vacillated between giving you every single one of her dollars and burning it all in a symbolic bonfire, until the two of you landed on moving it to a new, hopefully untraceable, bank account. You're really not sure how deep the Betterwitch surveillance goes, but Jane seems satisfied, at least. Well, she's going through a lot. You know how it is, having to endure huge life-upending bouts of information being tossed at you more or less weekly yourself. So, yeah, you skip this step in your male personally sojourn. O que é um sojourn? Boa pergunta. Sempre quis saber o que é um sojourn, além de ser uma personagem de Overwatch. Sojourn. Sojourn é estadia. Gente, o nome da mulher é Estadia. Sério isso? But you made it to Roxy's house in a respectable manner, which was the whole point. You're gonna make the fuck out of a good impression. You knock, and you wait. Oh my. The person who comes to the door is not Roxy. At least, she doesn't look like the photo of Roxy Jane showed you. Ah, sim, porque quem vivia nessa casa nesse tempo não é a Roxy, é a mãe da Roxy. Oh fuck, unless Roxy's a catfish? You did not expect this. Oh, it's you. This could be interesting. You blink. It is you. She got that part right. Do you know her? You scour her features. She does seem familiar, like a friend you almost had or did have very long ago or moderately long ago, depending on the perspective you are looking at this time from. You wonder, have the two of you met before? No, we have not, nor was I expecting the pleasure. Oh shit, you thought you were onto something for once. You wonder how many more levels of memory are buried, twisted under a blown synapse in your burned out brain? You have to move forward and give up on chasing down whatever buck-wild theory you were inching toward there. There are real mysteries afoot with this stranger. This feels like a decisive moment if there ever was one. Catch the catfish in her river of lies. There's gotta be another answer here. Oh my god. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna catch the catfish? You know how this shit goes. It's time to sit down, just the two of you, to talk through some hard truths before asking Jane if they want to meet for a tense but hopefully cathartic confrontation, which you will have to film, of course. Shit, okay, it's go time. You take a deep breath and call her out like the slick sleuth you are. You know she's pretending to be friends with Jane online. She's been pretending. Oh, this is far cuter than I expected. Both this situation and your little self, I have in no way been doing that. It is more refreshing than I would have thought, though, to be reminded that there are dramas with stakes like these out there. In the midst of all this. Her eyebrows put together as her gaze goes right through you. You turn around, but there's nothing out there. While some of my moves, both personal and political, have brought my path across her family, I haven't interfered directly with Janice's life, and I don't intend to start. Can you say the name, friend? Is there a way you justify the strings you're pulling? I won't stop you, of course. I have my own matters to attend to. This is only food for thought, and I can see you are intellectually underfed. It just might be worth your while to contemplate the repercussions of the paths you're on. Did you have any further questions, or did you come all this way just for that? You really aren't sure. Man, it seems like all you do is contemplate your path. You feel all turned around inside. Talking to whoever this is make you feel like you stayed up too late staring at the moon and got all fucked up about existence till you felt too stupid to think anymore. But like, in a good way. You stare blankly at her while you try to remember your purpose. I will go ahead and take that as a no. Good luck, friend. She shuts the door and you turn, bewildered, back toward the long driveway. Well, okay then. You sure met someone. It definitely wasn't ROXY, and you don't think whatever just happened counts as a friendship, so you guess this one's a loss. Was it because you cheated at traveling like a regular person? Friendless and rudderless, you start the long, pointless walk of penance to somewhere. Yeah, pegamos a primeiro final dessa rota. What just happened? Pois é, a gente chegou no lugar certo, mas não na época certa. Fica triste não, querido. Tenta daqui a 400 anos. Não tô nem brincando. There's gotta be another answer here. Oh wait, you're an idiot. This is an adult. You've been spending too much time with marginally supervised aliens and a lonely marooned boy recently that you forgot that ROXY probably lives with her parents. She doesn't, but okay. And it's 50-50 on the possibility of a stuffed grandma Rose somewhere in there, if the pattern holds. It's feasible she could have told her mom about you. Opa. Oh no. Ah, eu li certo. Achei que tivesse lido errado. You play it safe, and instead of accusing anyone of online identity crime, you ask if ROXY is home. She stares at you for a moment, her lips slightly parted. You get the feeling she's not often caught off guard, and you wonder what it is you've done wrong now. Opa, textão. Do you ever think you have lived through every possible iteration of an emotion, and then one day a manifestation of narrative agency shows up on your doorstep to remind you that there is yet another way to experience the acute feeling of a particular loss? You do what you do best and stare blankly at her, trying to figure out just what in the fuck that might mean. Oh, is that not a universal one? Well then, I can clarify. It is a roundabout way of saying no, she's not home, nor will she be for quite a while. I would offer to take a message for you, but with your bag of tricks, I think you can manage the wait. She winks at you conspiratorially, and you have never felt less like you were in on a plan with somebody. Ela tipo, ah, eu entendi a referência. E eu tipo, eu não. This has been fun, but I'm not the one you want. I'll go ahead and make myself scarce so things can start moving along. Unfortunately for me, my path is not as flexible as yours. Or hers. You've wasted considerable time here as it is, and I have my own preparations to contend with. Scoot along before you touch something you shouldn't. She shuts the door, and you stand blank and useless on the doorstep. Maybe this isn't the right house. house, and that lady was just having a good time fucking with you? Jane had said she hadn't used Roxy's address in forever, since Roxy didn't ever really seem to receive things she sent through the mail. And whoever this was didn't really give you any solid evidence that she knew that what you were talking about. You take a minute to consider the cryptic shit the woman, who is very probably not Roxy's mom, just told you. You feel like a level 1 bugfuck idiot taking on a side quest from an enigmatic wizard so far beyond you that you feel like you should have spent way more time grinding first. It feels like that's what she was going for. Anyway, whatever she said was something like, you could manage to wait? Maybe this one's an issue of time, not space. It always seems to be one of those two bastards, huh? Well, luckily for you, you have power over both. Might as well follow the only lead you have. You perch on the bridge over the river running in front of the house and fast forward, holding Roxy's name at the front of your mind. Years roll by you in a visual cacophony. Buildings rise up around you, lights flash red and hot. There is a rush of busy energy, the ebb and flow of a colonial tide, and then a stillness. Right when you start to wonder if you've missed her, you feel it. You wait till it feels right, and you stop. Holy shit, that was a while. You travel forward in time from John's era to meet Jane, you guess, so you suppose it isn't the most unfathomable thing to have to do it again, but wow. The trees that surrounded you just a minute ago are gone, replaced by a sea of crumbling buildings and a low, skittery sound, like pressing your ear to an ant colony. The vibes out here are real bad. You hurry up and knock. The door opens slowly. Ah, está ela, queridinha, e ela trouxe a outra querida da história, a Pumpkin. Roxy, for sure it's Roxy this time, picks her head out, spots you, then squints at the empty street behind you. Seeing no threat, she bumps the door open with her elbow and drops a huge pumpkin in your arms. She stumbles a bit over the door jamb as she does it, and you almost don't catch the pumpkin in favor of reaching for her, but she steadies herself at the last moment and leans against the frame unfazed. Here you go, little buddy. I appreciate you knocking. It's a lot more polite than the usual breaking and entering you guys do, so I picked out a nice juicy one for ya. Don't go telling everyone to try this shit, though, or else I'll never get to sleep again in my life. I'll just be running produce to my door 24/7, unloading snacks to every chest guy in existence without rest. Not but you're eating noises for company. I don't know. This is not at all how you thought this would go, but you honestly should have known better than to do anything with your expectations, but throw them in the trash can. So you roll with it and thank her for the pumpkin, calling her by name for max politeness. You can't see much over the flagrantly large gourd you're struggling to keep hold of, but you feel her go still. Did she stop breathing? You crane your neck to peek over the curve of pumpkin and fuck. Again with those expectations. You did not anticipate pure horror to be the emotion constructed on her face, but there it is. What shit did you just say to me? You said thank you, Roxy? You open your mouth again to introduce yourself as the friend Jane mentioned, but all your words shrivel up in your horrible mouth. because Roxy has flattened herself against the door frame, her head tucked down like you're blinding her. Wait, you're not in... said... She slinks down to the floor and kind of rolls back inside, shutting the door behind her. You hear nothing, then a deep heaving sob. What the fuck just happened? You knock politely just once. Hold on a minute, I gotta do something. Don't go anywhere. Okay, time for order. You hear nothing but footsteps trailing away into silence. It could be time to head out, but she told you to wait, so you do. You're nothing if not committed. About 20 minutes in, the low, skittering hum in the background fortifies itself into a more present rumble. From around corners and out from dilapidated doors comes the source. The patter of feet, a low, unintelligible whisper, and the clicking of joints. It's people, and they look like you. Well, almost. It's more that you look like if a child drew them. They're simple frames made simpler with softer edges. Your skin is actually skin, right? They chitter around you, and you squish your arm meats to make sure. Yeah, you aren't chitinous. Chitinous? O que é um chitinous? Eu devia deixar só o tradutor já aberto pra sempre, né? Em vez de ficar fechando ele toda hora. Oh, meu Deus. Chitinous. Quitinoso. Quitinoso? Quitinoso. Chitinoso. Gente, mas o que é um quitinoso? É um kit da Jequiti gelatinoso, é isso? Chitinous. What the fuck is a chitinous? É assim mesmo que escreve? Pior que é mesmo. Chitinous. Quitinoso. Tá, eu vou procurar o que é quitinoso, então. Relativo à quitilina. Na verdade, a quitina, que contém ou é composto por quitina. Gente, o que é uma quitina? Composto químico. É um polissacarídeo constituído por um polímero de cadeia longa de N-acetilglicosamina. Ui! Parede celular dos fungos e no exoesqueleto dos artrópodes. Ah, tá falando do povinho que fica aqui com ela, entendi. Que eles têm uma pele durinha, o povo que vivia em Durcy Prospect, os carapaceans, que eles chamam? Os carapáceos. Wait, or is that bad? Or is that bad? You're trying to process whether you're relieved to have the bodily makeup you thought you did, or if you're sad that the space of time you thought you might have finally found your kin was so fleeting. You don't get a chance to sort through it fully, because the new guys are surrounding you and they look hungry. Então, a gente aqui na história, nós não somos um rabisco, nós somos um carapacean? Isso eu nunca entendi. It might well be you or the pumpkin here, so you hold it out toward them and hope for the best. They take it and, chittering what seems to be their thanks, shrink back into the night. Ah, não vai aparecer eles. You check them off your mental list of predators and sit for a beat. It feels like you're waiting for more than Roxy's return, like this is a moment of choice. Jesus fuck, you went to all this effort to try things a new way, and what did it get you? Nothing. You've never had such a spectacular failure to connect upon first meeting someone. So, what are you supposed to do now? You wait, but the familiar push against your ribcage to decide something doesn't come. What is this drive to make you choose anyway? What if you just wanted to sit on your ass and do nothing, huh? What if you are tired of choosing when every choice you make takes you further from anything good? And who knows, maybe you're supposed to do nothing. Maybe that's what your plan was all along, huh? Tough guy? You don't know who that little jab was aimed at, but you want nothing more in this moment than to petulantly slap the reins of choice off your shoulders. If only there were reins to slap. God, impotent rage is the worst. After a minute of continued seething at nothing, you feel it. Go see what the chess guys know. Give up and see if Nepeta wants to hang out. Doors locked. Smash a window, bitch. Oh my. So many options. Let's see what the guys know. More than you know, Chungas. Give up. Oh no. Tá, vamos lá. Nice try. Can't tempt me with a fun friend this time. I don't know the rest. Peraí. Buckle. Ah, mas eu tô sendo enganado. Eu achei que eu tinha mais opções. Don't tell me what to do. You're not my mom. Quem fez essa rota? É uma pessoa muito mal criada. Blinking. You feel the desire to act abway. It's replaced by a tingly giddiness at the victory of your, inertia? You'll be kind to yourself and call it fortitude and resolution instead. You're gonna see this shit through. You do what you promised and wait. Okay. Eventually, you curl up on the welcome mat and pass out like a stray kitten. At some point in the night, you open your eyes for one blurry moment as a chess guy lays a blanket over you. Oh my. The creak of the door next to your ear jolts you awake. Towering above you in the sharp, bright rays of morning sun is ROXY. Oh shit, you are real. I came out here so I could prove to past tipsy me that it was just a daymare or some shit, but now here you are and here I am. So, let's dig right in. Did you or did you not say human English words, including my name, to me last night? You did do that? Well, time to reckon with this, then, I guess. I might still be a little buzzed, so I'm just gonna see how this plays out. Stick with me. She beckons you inside, and you scramble to your feet and follow her. Meu Deus, a casa da ROXY. Ai, o gatinho! Bonitinho. All that waiting paid off, didn't it? You emanate smugness in every direction as you walk, just in case there are any entities or narrative concepts around that have the capacity for feeling slighted by such a thing. If you say so. You trail behind her into the living room, explaining how you knew her name via her friends. Oh, okay, that makes more sense, LMAO. That'd make you the one who convinced Jane of the stuff about our reality that I've been trying to get her to see for quite some fucking time. The benefits of being able to be there to show her in person, I guess. She stands next to the couch, her shoulders bunched up, popping her fingers. She isn't looking at you. She told me you could time travel, but she failed to mention the part about how you are some kind of alien. Alien, sorry to offend. But if I'm being real, it's not like our communication style is full and truly without gaps on a normal day. So this checks out. She scrunches her face up and groans. I'm so sorry. I'm being a jelly-bellied Deborah Downer. LMAO, what in the fuck is wrong with me? Here you are, a friend in the flesh, and I'm just over here within a way about my other friends whom I love very much. This is just a lot, LMAO. I've daydreamed all the potential friend meeting scenarios I thought might ever happen. With any and all combobs of my four whole friends whisking me off on a friend's sojourn. I just didn't consider a new one might show up on my door disguised as one of my little neighbors, so yeah. You're super sorry for how last night went down. And for what it's worth, you've made friends with like a lot of people. And all the friend-making skills you've learned in your travels didn't save you from fucking this one up. There's no one foolproof way to do it, you figure. You would know, as a proven fool. LMAO, that is good to hear. Still, I'm sorry about ditching you right off that bat. I went to find a small sip of courage, which turned into a swig of courage. And that became a whole ass bottle of courage, which, as you know, can happen. So I did not much come back outside to confront my harsh realities, namely you, as I did confront the soft real titties of my pillow on the floor next to my bed. Anyways, it's just that I've never heard my name come out of someone's mouth right next to me in real life before. Oh. You don't comment on the booze thing. You all just met and you don't want to come off too preachy just yet. You try another angle instead. You could always try the meeting thing again, like acting it out. Oh, sure, yeah. Of course you didn't mean literally going back and redoing it. This is a salvageable situation, and you don't want to waste a redo if you don't have to. What? What you mean is you really get shit right the first try anyway. Might as well give each other a clean slate. You hold your fist up and knock on the air in front of you. You hope she thinks this is cool and not lame, since you just kinda leapt into it to avoid thinking too much about all the false starts. You don't have to worry for long because she smiles, and it's brilliant. The shivering tension in her body shifts from anxious to excited as she hops in a bit, getting into the moment. She hops a bit. She breathes in, smoothing her shirt, then puts a hand to her ear. Oh, is that a knocking on my door? Whomsoever could it be? Whomstever. She bends dramatically in welcome as she opens the invisible door and clasps her hands together as she focuses her bright gaze on you. Oh. My fucking good. Welcome to my abode, stranger. Soon to be more than stranger. Wink, wink. Get on in here and let's get to frienditude. That might be coming on a little strong for a typical company, but luckily you are as friend-thirsty as they come, even without goofball nuts forcing you to be. You introduce yourself and step over the pretend threshold, hand extended. ROXY takes it and pulls you into a fast, tight hug. Oh. You wrap your noodly arms around her and return it as tight as you can. At first, you tell yourself she needs it. After all, you can feel her trembling back, her unsteady breath. A minute passes and you realize your hands are shaking too. When was the last time you just held someone? Just let yourself be held. The moment is quiet. You know it's an awkward pose. The two of you standing, draped on each other in the middle of her house. And you realize belatedly that lying on the floor there's a window like the one you fell through right before you... Jesus, how did you get out of Doc Scratch's apartment? Now is not the time to think about that. But it's good. Calm. You could keep going, honestly, but she steps back and tucks a puff of hair back into place, clearing her throat. She's still looking away from you, but she's grinning. Yeah, that was much better. Couple of friends starting pros, am I right? They'll write guides to friendships about the two of you, you say. She sits down on the couch and gestures for you to join her, so you do. Now that you're settled, what she said right before you did your little skit hits your brain right in the face. Has she really never had anyone else around to speak to? Like, never? Never have I ever. Esse é o nome de uma brincadeira. É o Eu Nunca. What about the chess guys, as she called them? The ones she mistook you for? Oh, we can communicate for sure. But not with words, really. I don't mean anything bad about them by it. They are really sweet when they aren't sneaking into my home. Plus, I don't blame them for their ways. On account of them being brought in by the Better Witch and summarily forgotten. But I don't know, we're not really on the same wavelength. So it just kinda fucked me up when I thought one of them was looking at me in my eyeballs and saying my name like it was... like I was... low. Whew. Sorry, I'm still mega new to this. Fala, Gael, tudo bom com você? Sua primeira vez no chat? Como você está? Seja bem-vindo, aliás. Estamos aqui lendo Pesterquest, a rota da ROXY Lounge. Her eyelids flutter closed as she shivers. Man, you thought Jake had it rough, but at least he had his grandma for a bit before she died. You wonder to yourself why she doesn't seem to have had someone like that. Não, já sigo faz um tempo. Ah, então a Twitch está me enganando, porque ela disse que era a primeira vez no chat. Mas e aí, tudo bom? You're about to do some mental math and see if you can work some connections out, but she gathers herself and interrupts you before you can do anything too smart. And to be clear, I can definitely see the difference between you guys now. Though you don't not look like them, to be honest. It's just that you have a quality of like, personhood to you. Anyway, the point is, the resemblance is certifiable. But you're like the velveteen chess guy. The what? Just because you're soft? Well, yeah, that too. Tinha que ter verificação no celular e tal, pra não pegar aqueles bot mega esquisito. Sim. Entendo. Aí algumas pessoas ficavam de fora por conta disso, né? Mas é um padrão de segurança que eu preferi colocar mesmo assim. Choices, né? But no, you know the Velveteen Rabbit? It's one of the few books my mom left me that wasn't super dense and cerebral wizard fiction. So, I read it a lot before I got grown enough to really appreciate the complexities of the cerebral wizard genre. Yeah, I like wizard, actually. No, you don't know that one. But you are constantly searching for meaning in your fucking life, so you will definitely check it out if there's someone like you in it. And she just mentioned her mom. She's not still around then, is she? Nah. Better bitch killed her a long time ago. Before I ever got here. Me pergunto se a gente vai voltar no tempo e salvar a mãe dela. A gente já tá fudendo a linha do tempo toda mesmo. Back when society was uncollapsed and everything. But she knew I was coming, so she left me pretty well stocked with snacks and reading material and booze to last a lifetime. Though I have put a considerable dent in that last category, so we shall see if her planning skills truly were up to par when all said and drunk. Demorei pra verificar a rede zoada, acabava expirando. Ah, nossa, quando o código expira... Eu tive dificuldade desse negócio de código expirar uma vez, um tempo atrás, por causa de entrar na Amazon, se não me engano, de entrar assim na conta da Amazon do Prime Gaming. Acho que já faz mais de ano que eu tava tendo essa dificuldade. Aí nunca que chegava no meu e-mail e depois nunca que chegava no meu celular e eu ficava desesperada e tipo, toda vez que até hoje eu fico traumatizada de ter que entrar na conta do Prime. Eu fico, gente do céu, vou ter que entrar no Prime de novo, não acredito. Quando a gente limpa o cache e daí tira as senhas, tudo, sai de todas as contas, você tem que fazer o login de novo. A do Prime é a que eu fico assim, tipo, ah não, de novo não. Ah, que chatice. Mas hoje em dia tá muito mais facilitado, pra mim pelo menos. Só fiz isso pra liberar aquele sistema de live em conjunto. Ah, esqueci o nome disso. Mas eu acho que eu sei do que você tá falando. A Twitch fica dando uns nomes pra umas coisas e, tipo, eu não tô acompanhando tanto. Outro dia, a Twitch mandou um quiz pra eu responder. Um quiz, assim, de tipo, como é que tá sendo o serviço da Twitch. Multistream. Eu tô tentando lembrar um outro nome. Mas é. Aí, eles colocaram lá, como é que você ranqueia o nosso sistema de blá 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 blá. E eu tipo, o que é um blá 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 blá, gente? Eu nunca tinha visto isso na minha vida. Aí tinha lá, você conhece o blá 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 blá? Eu tipo, não. Muito doido, tem umas... a Twitch tava pesquisando o quanto que o consumidor do Twitch, o quanto que o streamer ou o espectador, tipo, o quanto que ele sabe sobre a plataforma e o quanto que ela deve trabalhar mais em fazer publicidade da própria plataforma. Eu acho que esse que era o objetivo, né? Porque umas perguntas assim. I thought maybe I was gonna get to meet her and all my other friends in this big IRL multiplayer game I was gonna kick ass at, but now, I don't know, I guess I'm not playing anymore. Shit. You jump up as you put 2 and 2 together. You went to the past before. Or, well, you came from the past, from Jane and Jake's time. Which Roxy already knows. But spatially, you were here in this house, then in that time. There was a woman who lived here then. You thought she was Roxy's mom at first, but then you maybe convinced yourself she wasn't. Since a few hundred years happened between her and now, you don't know, a lot was going on. Oh my fucking god, you what? Was she beautiful? Hold on, let me show you. A Roxy é tão adorável, tem uma arma no sofá, meu Deus do céu. Bebida, arma. Bebida. Abóbora. Espelho. Não, janela, janela. Espelho? Corredor. O que é isso aqui? Ah, outra janela. E tem uma outra janela aqui. E o gatinho. Roxy roots around the bookshelf for something and your brain starts expanding at a rapid rate. Ah, tem outro gatinho aqui. A rapid rate. Hate é foda. Concepts that have been hovering on the periphery of your mind suddenly converge. You already know that Jane and Jake's deceased grandparents were your friends from the past, but you hadn't considered this, since you didn't know Roxy lived in the future then. Of course, all this shit's connected. Of course, that would make... Did she look for this? She hands you a book, cover open, to show the author photo. There she is, younger than she was when you saw her last night, but older than she was when you first met. You can't help saying her name out loud. Rose. Oh my god! Why did grown-up her? She said you'd never met before, though. Is she not the same person? No, she isn't. Fuck the earlier math you're doing. This is way bigger than 2 plus 2. This is some serious mental calculus. You wiggle all your brain worms at once, and it hits you. The way it felt different than normal when you hopped from Jake's house to wherever that one place was. How it happened when you brought Jake home again, too. Like your guts dissolved sideways, how they rearranged slower once you landed. Had it happened when you first landed in Jane's yard, too? You were probably too turned around to even notice then. You know, ROXY's super hyped right now. But you tell her you gotta check something. Do some science. You'll be right back. Is that backwards again? What did I tell you about coming back here? Quase a mesma coisa, casa. Get your grubby time fingers out of my pie before you get caught. Fala, Matheus. Boa noite, como vai você? Yes, ma'am. Sorry, ma'am. Have a good day, ma'am. Okay, she's mad, which you expected. It also felt like an everyday wiggly belly time jump, which you also expected. You pop out of there, this time concentrating on your friend Rose, just the day after you last hung out. You should just feel yourself zoom further backward toward her, right? Off you go and wrong. It's that feeling again, that sideways dissolvement and reconstruction of your crudely rendered balls. Oh no. Oh, it's you! Long time no see. For you, I assume. Funny thing about that is no, actually, but you'll have to explain later. You'll apologize for paying her so short a visit and head back to ROXY. The feeling accompanies you yet again. Nossa, que salada que ele tá fazendo. Fine Things franchises the Burger King. They are genial. But buy the building close to McDonald's. Cara, aqui na minha cidade não tem McDonald's. Tem um Subway e estão dizendo que vai vir um Burger King pra cá. Olha só que coisa. You pop back into ROXY's living room, a fraction of a second after you left. Those brainworms are wiggling at top speeds. Damn, B, I know you don't know this about me, but I love science projects. I got a whole lab and everything. I'm heck of qualified. Ah, então, aqui tem um shopping, só que, tipo, ele não vingou, em outras palavras, assim. Ele não deu muito certo, porque quando ele foi instaurado aqui na cidade, né, colocado, tem uma rua comercial muito famosa. E tem uma loja muito famosa nessa rua. E daí essa loja, tipo, ela já tá aqui há muitas décadas. Já tá consagrada aqui na cidade. E o pessoal dessa loja em específico, junto com outros vendedores dessa mesma rua comercial, eles se juntaram para boicotar o shopping quando ele veio para cá. Então, existe um shopping aqui na minha cidade, tecnicamente, mas as lojas que ficam lá, elas estão, tipo, elas vivem mudando o ponto, sabe? As pessoas têm que parar de alugar lá porque fica muito caro e não tem muito movimento. Nas cidades próximas tem Subway. Então, tem um Subway lá no centro, mas eu nunca fui lá. Ai. Mas me responda, vai chegar um Burger King aí porque não tem Mac? Ou vai chegar um Burger King porque tá vindo um Mac? Reflita. Pense nisso. Eu não vi notícia nenhuma sobre um McDonald's chegar. Então eu acho que ele tá vindo independente de McDonald's, na verdade. Wanna take me with you? Oh, sorry. You already went. Fuck, there I go, blinking, missing all the good shit. For the best, to be honest, or else I'd have sat here roaring that you'd never come back. Abandonment crisis thoughts averted for the moment. High five! What red science fact did you learn? Was it about my mom? You take a deep breath. A carinha da Roxy, cara, eu não consigo. Ela e a Jade são as minhas favoritas dessa história. Elas são muito nenéns. Só foi uma vez no Subway. Buguei quando perguntaram o que eu queria. Eu fui no Subway. Eu já tinha ido num Subway, mas eu não fiz o pedido. Eu estava com uma pessoa que fez o pedido. Aí, esse ano, eu fui no Subway pra eu fazer um pedido. Mas se eu não estivesse acompanhada, eu ia ficar travada que nem você, Gael. Ainda bem que eu estava com uma pessoa que conhecia, né, pra poder me guiar. Porque, nossa, foi um sufoco. Pra mim. Chupa essa, corporações, Minas Gerais, Marcha do Progresso. Cara, foi engraçado essa semana que eu tava no meu curso e daí o professor, a maioria dos alunos é da cidade do Rio de Janeiro. E eu não, eu sou do sul de Minas. Aí o professor, você não vê mais as pessoas andando com o celular na mão, assim, usando o celular. Eu falei, eu vejo sim. Ele falou, não é possível, você tá falando isso só pra ser do contra. Eu falei, não, as pessoas da minha cidade realmente são bem tranquilas. Eu fico preocupada pelas pessoas, que eu vejo elas andando na rua com o celular na mão. Eu falo, gente, guarda isso aí, pelo amor de Deus. Eu fico horrorizada com um negócio desse. Andando na rua, isso. Falando no celular, ou então falando aqui assim no WhatsApp, sabe? You take a deep breath. You're kind of laying down the knowledge tracks a second before your brain cart rolls down them, so you're hoping this makes sense as you piece it together word by word. You think this is a different universe? You've met the woman Roxy thinks of as Mom, but you also have a friend named Rose from a while ago. She's friends with Jake's grandma and Jane's grandpa, and you're pretty sure she even read you some of this same fucking book at one point. But they can't be the same exact people, even if they all look the same. Things feel different there than they do here. Like looking in an inside-out mirror with every cell of your body. Those definitely exist, don't worry. Aqui a galera também anda, mas é porque se alguém roubar, tu meio que pode denunciar pro dono da rua, então é tranquilo. Dono da rua? Meu Deus. How's to that, yeah. I'm following you. Would love to gaze inside one of those mirrors and flip my shit some way. Would be a liar if I said I had never thought about that as a general concept. But that's beside the point. More importantly, what you're saying is, I have double the moms I thought I had yesterday. And you're also saying you can, go visit any and all moms whenever you want? Just go on a mom visiting bender. No rules, just moms? Cara, esse é um dos motivos pelos quais eu amo a Roxy. Ela fica sabendo de uma notícia muito avassaladora e a primeira coisa que ela faz é ir direto na parte otimista da história. Também sofreu tanto, tadinha. And I can come along? Well, no, there are a couple rules, but other than that, yeah. Damn, you thought she might take more convincing. Look around at all my gear and cat clones and general living situation, but all I'm saying is none of that is particularly hard to believe. And after all the grief I endured trying to get Janie to believe me, it'd be pretty fucking stupid and not to mention rude as heck of me not to believe you now. You're my friend. Oh. Phew, that is a relief. Your grasp on this shit is tenuous at best. So it's good she is so easy to win over. May the 4th be with you. É verdade, hoje é 4. May the 4th be with you. Até hoje eu não assisti o filme do Han Solo, meu Deus. Is it one of my best qualities? Opa. Bateu um WhatsApp aqui. Tá no lucro, continue assim. Ah, mas assim, falando em franquia, é o último da franquia que eu tenho, que eu tecnicamente teria que ver. Estão me chamando, mas eu tô em live. Mas agora eu fiquei curiosa, queria saber o que era. Enfim. Or at least one of my biggest ones. Oh, though before she gets too excited, one of the rules doesn't seem to be that her mom in this universe doesn't want to be visited though. That's kind of a big one. Oh. I see. Well, did she say why? I mean, if you all already hung out, what's so bad about one more chill sesh? Unless, I don't know, it's okay for you, but... Eu ouvi dizer que é Velozes e Furiosos. Qual a sua franquia favorita? Aqui é mais de boa, já ouvi casos, mas se bem que eu quase nem ando em bairros mais perigosos. Eu também não. Velozes e Furiosos, nossa, se eu ver algum filme completo já vai ser uma grande vantagem. Qual franquia que eu gosto? Eu gosto de Back to the Future. Eu gosto de Turma da Mônica. Eu gosto de uma franquia. Não sei. Sonharte é uma franquia? Aquelas bonecas? Sabe aquelas bonecas de pano da Sonharte? Eu amo elas. Deixa eu ver se Sonharte é uma franquia. É uma marca. Não sei se chega a ser uma franquia. Agora eu não vou saber dizer qual que é a diferença entre franquia e marca. Mas assim, dá pra ter uma noção de que uma franquia é uma coisa mais completa e uma marca é uma coisa mais específica, né? Um é a parte, o outro é o todo. Acho que é isso. You can see her start to blame herself, so you cut her off. Não literalmente. It's definitely not that she didn't seem interested. More like she couldn't. She shooed you away every time you tried to say hi. Like she was afraid you'd fuck shit up. Which, to be fair, you do regularly. Barbie, franquia, Mattel, marca. É? Achei que fosse o contrário. Marca é o nome acima da franquia. Marca é o nome acima da franquia? Ah. Então... Man of Action é a franquia e Ben 10 é a marca? Tipo isso? She said she was preparing for some. You look around. Or someone? Oh, yeah, okay. Makes sense. It's funny, actually. No, I'm joking. You're like, it sucks. But like, situationally, it's funny. Because that game I mentioned that Jane is off destroying. A week ago, I wasn't even sure if I wanted to play. Was pretty ready to go to desperate measures to not play it at all, if I'm being totally honest. But BTH? BTH? O que é BTH? BTH. Bathroom. Bachelor of Theology. Eu acho que ela tá fazendo um typo, né? Eu acho que ela quis dizer BTW, by the way. But then, when Jane said she met you and was all hell-bent on doing some righteous smiting to the whole company, I don't know. Falando nisso, o que é um hell-bent? Além de ser aquela música do Corcunda de Notre Dame. Ah, decidido. Ok. Falando nisso, eu, o idiota, quando criança, achava que Man of Action era o cara que se batizou assim pra criar o Ben 10. Eu pensava, o cara é foda, se chamou de Homem da Treta, Cria do Inferno. Man of Action é um grupo, né, de roteiristas ou algo do gênero. Eu também achava que era um cara só. Depois que eu, Man of Action é, é um monte de gente, entendi. It hit me that I kinda did wanna play after all. Like, I thought maybe I'd meet my mom in the game and I'd finally get to talk to this lady I built my whole ass sense of self around. Get to see how she is in real actual life and figure out how bad I fucked it up, my version of it. Well, anyway. Mutante Rex e Sábado Secreto. Ah, Sábado Secreto é deles também? Caralho. Eu não cheguei a ver Sábados Secretos muito não, porque eu acho que eu estudava de manhã nessa época. Mas esse nome é muito legal. We aren't playing, so it didn't matter. É Secret Saturdays o nome original? Grande elenco, eu achava que era uma pessoa que tava em todos os filmes. Robert De Niro, Samuel Jackson e grande elenco. Ô, porra, não, aí eu acho que é um pouquinho demais, Matheus. I've been trying to be a good friend and lend my hacksaw skills to Jane's, but it hurt and I don't know how to tell her. Era mais do Benio e do Rex. O Benio. And then you showed up and my options shifted like 75 more times. Mas eu tinha 7, 8 anos, era idiota por obrigação. Ah, entendi, não. Aí tudo bem. Fala, Nikawa. Tudo bom? I barely got time to come to terms with it being okay to want something before it gets wiped away from me, lol. Shit, you really didn't need to mess with her expectations. You should have kept your mouth shut till you figure out what this all meant. She smiles at you, and you don't have to have knocked her for long to tell that it's forced. Oh shit, you can fix this. One more visit to this universe's rose couldn't hurt, right? Moms are cute, but so are friends. Secret Saturdays. Oh, passava em dia de semana. Passava em dia de semana, que mentira! Nossa, a vida é uma mentira. Tudo belezinha? Que ótimo. Hey, who knows? Maybe her mom wouldn't mind another visit if you brought ROXY along? Like maybe she was just annoyed when it was your bothersome self. She was definitely a little sad when she talked about ROXY living so far away, temporarily speaking. You really think? I mean, if you don't think she'd mind, it'll be 100% down, locked, and loaded, ready to family bond right the fuck now. Before I get too nervous to change my mind. Should we partake in a celebratory sippy before we go? No. She reaches under her couch and pulls out a bottle of vodka. You make an uncommittal noise as you work out how to respond. You call Jake out for enabling this, so you don't want to do the same. It's delicate, though. What am I thinking? She'll probably have her own stash anyway. Peraí, gente, já volto rapidinho. Voltei, desculpa a demora. Estavam perguntando negócio de pizza, de sei lá o quê. Sobrinhos estão aprontando. Não, se eles estiverem aprontando, a mãe deles está lá, então não tem problema. Eles são amorzinhos, sabia? Quarta-feira eles vão fazer 1 ano de idade. Os cachorrinhos da minha irmã. Na dúvida, sem abacaxi na pizza. Eu vi um tempo atrás que o Discord tava com esse meme, né? De tipo, abacaxi na pizza, que sei lá dos que. Eu falei, gente, esse meme ainda existe. Eu nunca comi abacaxi na pizza. São bebezinhos, eles são pincher. Minha família tem um negócio com pincher, cara. A gente já teve trocentos pincher. Aparentemente, um dos criadores tem planos de fazer uma série nova de Ben 10 mais séria, barra adulta. Vai ser legal. Um Ben 10, tipo... Nossa, eu vi isso em cartaz na Netflix hoje. Como é que chama? Aliás, fiquei surpresa que tem isso na Netflix, porque da última vez que eu vi, tinha na Max. O Justiça Jovem. Imagina um Ben 10 Dark que nem Justiça Jovem. Deve ser legal. Mas aí a ideia, por enquanto, sem falar que Ben 10, como muitos desenhos clássicos, nunca mostrou todo o seu potencial devido à interferência do estúdio. Para ser adulto, os criadores teriam que ser mais livres. Só comia abacaxi no doce. Qual doce? Hellbents. Cara, por ter tido vários pinchers, eu quis aprender como é que se escreve, né? É pincher. É P-I-N-S share, do jeito que você escreveu aí. Tipo share. Pincher. Na pizza doce. Tá. Na pizza doce. Entendi. Na pizza doce, eu comi só chocolate mesmo. Pincher, isso. Que eu me lembro é assim que escreve. Eu sempre achei muito diferente. Why else would she have left such vast quantities of this stuff for me to reckon with? Yeah, you guess. Though maybe she meant for her to bust into it when she was a bit older. Or like, maybe for special occasions. Tá aí, né? Por que a Rosie deixou... Tudo bem ela deixar comida pra filha dela, que ela sabe que 400 anos no futuro ia precisar disso. Mas por que ela deixou bebida, né? Tipo, bebida alcoólica pra um bebê. Porque a ROXY, ela tem 13 anos. Ou 16, dependendo da época que você vê. Mas aqui eu acho que ela tem 13. E ela tá alcoolizada, cara. Isso é um absurdo. Nunca nem comi. Já comi, mas assim, porque eu tava no aniversário do meu priminho e daí ele pediu, sabe? Então, tipo, o aniversário era dele, era ele que mandava. E daí ele pediu pizza doce e daí a gente comeu. É bem diferente, né? Você não tá acostumado com pizza ser doce. Vai que no futuro trocaram leite materno por whisky. Tomara que não. Imagina os bebês tudo... Well, settle up and we can add that one to the list of questions to ask her. It's gonna be pretty far down, though. I got a lot. You extend your hand, she takes it, and off you go. You choose a point a little further ahead in Rose's timeline, just to give her time to miss you, just in case. Era esse priminho do dia do Logan que tu voltou da festa cansada? Do dia do Logan? Quê? Será que BR fez o jogo já que tem BR nessa idade bebendo? Então, esse jogo, ele foi feito por mais de uma pessoa, tem toda uma equipe por trás. A Rota da ROXY, vamos ver quem é que escreveu. Quem escreveu a Rota da ROXY foi... o Lalo Hunt, ou a Lalo Hunt, que também escreveu a Rota do Equius e do Dirk, que possivelmente a gente vai ler hoje. Do dia do Logan. Eu não me lembro desse negócio de dia do Logan. Esse meu primo é um primo meu, de uns 10 anos, acho. Que tem ele e tem a minha priminha, eles são irmãos. Ela tem uns 8 por aí. Use up to the doorstep to ease Roxy into it. É um priminho meu que ele já fandublou comigo cena do Naruto. Já fandublou com ela, minha priminha, e ele já quiseram... Ele estava aqui em casa, tipo, deixa eu gravar uma cena. Aí ela quis gravar também. Eles eram muito pequenininhos nessa época. Aí ele fez uma fandub do Naruto. Use up to the doorstep to ease Roxy into it. She plasters herself to the wall next to the door, breathing heavy. You take care of the knocking part. Oh, shit, boy. Vou comprar identidade falsa pra comprar bebida, também conhecido como... Ai, como é que chama aquele garoto? Esqueci o nome dele. Nossa, o nome dele é mítico. Aquele que tem um filme que... com a Emma Stone e o Michael Cera. Nossa, esqueci o nome dele. É bom incentivar desde novo. Mas não beber. Fã dublar sim, mas não beber. O filho vai estar na taverna amando do pai, comprar garrafa de 51, maço de cigarro, realmente consegue. Assim. Dia do Logan, quando vimos o filme do Logan, que tu voltasse da festa dele. É a McLove, obrigada. Sim. Mas não foi aniversário dele ainda. Só se foi aniversário da minha priminha. Que daí isso realmente já foi. Acho que era o aniversário dela, então. Mas você acertou, tipo, não o aniversariante, no caso era ela. Mas é desse priminho que eu tô falando, sim. O dia do Logan foi foda. Tá certo. Vão pedir pizza. This is it. Look at all these fucking trees around my house. Holy shit. Oh my. Old Rose comes to the door. And from the look on her face as she stares you down, she has absolutely not missed you even a little bit. Oh, my incorrigible male person. What did I tell you before? You should not be here, or now. Her imperial bane of my existence may not be paying attention to what you do with your friends, but she's keeping tabs on me after your last visit. It isn't safe for you here, and I can't have you compromise this location. From the side, Roxy exhales. Rose turns. Her voice is soft and broken, snow falling from branches. Oh. Sorry, Miss Mom. Mom Lone? Roxy. We didn't mean to burst down operations. I just wanted to meet you. No, I know. I know it. And despite the circumstances, I'm so glad to have been able to see you too. More than you know. But you can't stay. Yeah, okay, of course, yeah, no worries, I'm sorry. You have to go right now, before... Oh my. A light streaks through the clouds and you crane your neck to see it. But Rose grabs you both and drags you inside, slamming the door. Shit, this is bad, right? Fuck, she's even faster than I thought. I have to call Dave. I have to... She stops muttering to herself and speaks instead to you and Roxy with a sharp, decisive turn on her head. What's done is done. Get back, before there's nothing to get back to. But Rose touches her knuckles to Roxy's cheek, and you feel like you shouldn't be here for this moment. Shouldn't have brought her here. Shouldn't have done anything ever. You never learn your fucking lesson. You do the only good thing left for you to do and take Roxy's hand. She's still sputtering, pulling you as she reaches toward Rose. There's a low rumble. The house shakes. Rose has pulled some knitting needles out of nowhere, and they're sparking with energy. Now. When you open your eyes again, you're in ROXY's versions of the same living room, or almost that. You know it's hers, though it's decorated more sparsely. And there's a corner of the house that's just fucking gone, rebuilt how the surrounding buildings were, with a rickety chess guy pet job. Shit. You stop surveying the timeline damage and instead look to ROXY. She's just standing, staring, blank. Her hand is over her mouth. You're sorry, so sorry. You never should have suggested they do that. It's probably best for you to go. All you do is make things worse. The slackness in her face turns to panic. No, please. I shouldn't ask you to go. It's my fault. Don't leave me. In your guts, you know you're the one in the wrong. You are supposed to be the responsible time traveler. You don't know how to make her see this without making her feel worse. She runs and opens a cabinet, then a second and a third. Her movements more frantic each time. Frantic. Eventually, she surfaces successful. Oh, thank fuck the boo's still here. Always looking out for me, that mom. Look, it's okay. We can still have fun. You don't have to go, please don't go. She's crying as she talks, her voice climbing higher with fear. Her smile is begging you. You know you'll have to look later. Check whatever corners of the internet or historical documents ROXY has laying around to see what happened. But you feel in your belly that it will only confirm what you suspect. It would be better if she hated you. You're not ready to face what you did, so you take the bottle ROXY is holding out toward you. Take a long, burning swig. More for you means less for her. You hope, as you pass the bottle back. Meu Deus, pior final de todos. Regret. Tadinha, cara. A neném não merece nada disso. O que vocês disseram? Desculpa aí não ter dado atenção nesse último coisa. Eu aceitaria um Play 2 em qualquer circunstância aqui. Foi na trave, mas conta porque são gêmeos. Não são gêmeos. Oh, porra. Acabei de falar que um tem... Ele não tem 10, não. Ele deve estar com 13 agora. Eu tô muito louca. E ela que deve estar com 10. Enfim, eles não são gêmeos. Quando for pai, meus descendentes, ter tipo uns 3 anos, eu vou dar um Play 2 na mão e dizer: descubra esse mundo de nostalgias. Se disser que o gráfico é muito ruim, direi que não vou ganhar um PlayStation 18 no Natal. Eu não acho que vai ter um PlayStation 18 quando você for pai. Eu não sei quantos anos você tem, mas tipo... O PlayStation 5, ele saiu há muito tempo atrás, não é? Demora muito pra sair um PlayStation. Eu aceitaria um Play 2... Ele vai reclamar do gráfico se ele só conhecer os clássicos. O que vai estar saindo de bom atualmente? Final Fantasy 100 e 20. Você tem 20. Pra você ser pai... Tecnicamente você já pode ser. Mas vamos dizer que você vai ser pai com 30 e poucos. Então, daqui a 10 anos dificilmente vai ter o PlayStation 15, sabe? Daqui a 10 anos é capaz de estar fazendo o PlayStation 7. Tá, agora a gente vai na última da ROXY. Que eu saiba é a última, né? Não sei. It's not just moms, you tell her. You can definitely take her to go see any one of the friends she already has to. What, like, right now? If she wants, yeah. You're down for whatever. Aww. Is it weird to be so nervous about that? Don't get me wrong, I want to see the fuck out of some friends. Plop my eyes right on those guys. Followed a curse by hugs. It's just a really big thing, and I'm feeling a little dizzy even thinking about even picking one. Yeah, you haven't met all her friends yet, but you know just enough about all the various dynamics for that to make sense. And hey, there's no need to rush. You could take her somewhere else, just the two of you. That way, she can still get out of the house and see something new. And you guys can sit and talk through who to go see rather than leaping right in. Eu li tudo errado, mas enfim. Finge que eu li certo. Yeah, okay. That sounds chill. Where to then, my cosmic taxi friend? Let's start with somewhere chill, you say, and she nods. Like many things about Earth, there are places you know exist, but that you have no memory of ever having been to. They're just a part of your cultural knowledge, learned by your past self and later subsumed into the ever-widening miasma of your mind. Miasma, eu acho que é miasma mesmo. Vamos lá. É a miasma que fala, né? Miasma. Miasma parece que é tipo a minha asma. Miasma. You pick one of those places. Somewhere that feels like at one point it could have been something you cared about. Eu me toquei que vocês não ouviram a vozinha do Google falando. Miasma. Miasma e Maia Brisa. Aí uma é o contrário da outra, né? Que se tiver uma brisa com poeira, sua asma ataca. A miasma ataca. Tô tentando lembrar, a primeira coisa que vi do Voice, acho que foi os flashbacks da Vila da Folha. Ah, sim, esse é bem antigo. Se eles não mudaram a thumbnail, era o Itachi na capa, né? Esse deve ser o primeiro que eles fizeram de Naruto? Não lembro. It looks like a forest at first, but the pine trees have been shaped by wind. You turn, and the earth in front of you butts up against the ancient stone of an outcropping. It stretches out below your feet in a long, striated arch until it curves into nothingness. Tá, uma coisa de cada vez. O que é outcropping? Outcropping. Afloramento. O que é striated? Estriado. O que é estriado? Eu não sei. Só tem palavra que eu não sei, gente. Estriado. Vamos ver. Estriado. Provido de estrias. Ah, tá. Cuja superfície apresenta um ou mais sulcos. Eu vou fingir que eu entendi, tá? Porque, né? Depois do quitinoso, meu cérebro só desistiu. Qual é a do YouTube com thumbs? Tem vários canais que mudam de thumbs várias vezes. Ah, é porque eles estão fazendo o teste AB. Não é teste sanguíneo. Calma que tem uma explicação. Como eu vejo bastante conteúdo sobre ser youtuber, eu já me deparei com isso nos meus estudos. Capa e título são as coisas, assim, entre aspas, as mais importantes quando você vai postar um vídeo no YouTube. A capa e o título. Antigamente as tags eram importantes, hoje em dia elas não são tanto assim. Dobrinhas. Ah, tá. Ah, deve ser tipo essas partezinhas aqui, então. Obrigada, Matheus. Aí, às vezes, o youtuber vai lá e posta um vídeo. Os gringos que eu sigo, eles vivem fazendo isso. E você tá vendo lá o vídeo, aí você fica tipo assim, ah, legal, esse youtuber postou esse vídeo, eu vou ver depois, quando eu tiver tempo. E daí, quando você vai acompanhar de novo o YouTube, você vê que é o mesmo vídeo, só que tá com um título diferente e uma capa diferente, ou às vezes só a capa tá diferente, ou às vezes, sabe, tipo, é mais fácil você perceber que a capa mudou do que o título, mas às vezes muda tudo. Por que eles fazem isso? Porque eles estão realizando o teste AB. O teste AB é tipo assim, você coloca uma thumbnail A, um título A, e você vê como é que fica a retenção, os analytics do vídeo. Aí se você vê e compara com os seus anteriores e vê que tá menorzinho, tá tipo assim, parece que o resultado não tá tão bom quanto poderia ser, quanto foi no passado. Aí você muda pro B. Por isso que é um teste AB, que eu saiba é isso. Tem gente que faz isso antes de postar o vídeo, mas o jeito mais definitivo de você realmente ver é depois que você posta, né? Por isso que tem um monte de gente que posta de um jeito, quando você vê depois de uns 2 ou 3 dias, mudou a capa e a thumbnail. Às vezes as pessoas pegam vídeos antiguíssimos de 5, 6 anos atrás e muda também, pra dar mais alcance. Porque dependendo da palavra que você coloca no seu título, isso pode afundar ou trazer pra cima o seu vídeo na hora da pesquisa. Por isso que tem muito vídeo do YouTube que é umas expressões prontas, assim. Então, tipo, uma coisa que faz bastante sucesso é lista, tipo assim, 10 motivos para, ou então 10 erros encontrados no filme tal. Coisas prontas, assim, sabe? Expressões já conhecidas, já consagradas, que as pessoas estão acostumadas a ver e que traz bastante engajamento. Às vezes você vê uma palavra escrita, entre aspas, errada, porque é uma palavra que é ruim pro engajamento, tipo suicídio, sabe? Essas coisas assim. Eu não podia nem estar falando essa palavra aqui agora, mas enfim, imagina uma palavra ruim assim. Por isso que as pessoas falam desviver, sabe? Tipo... It looks like a forest at first, but the pine trees... Já li isso aqui. Beyond it is an endless sea of mountains, rolling and rolling, fading deep green to blue as they turn into sky. The sun is just below the horizon. It's so... Nossa, o céu tá lindíssimo, agora que eu pude ver com mais atenção. Open. Her voice is the quietest it's been since you met her. Her bright, boisterous charm lulled into awe. You ask her if she thinks this will work. Boisterous. O que é um boisterous? Parece outra coisa, né? Boisterous. É legal de falar. Barulhento. Mas o YouTube não ajuda muito também. Não, definitivamente não. No caso do Voice, eles tinham feito as thumbs do Bom de Guerra com desenhos do lobo. Aí um dia mudaram para uns Photoshop com imagens do jogo, mas mantendo a mesma imagem, por assim dizer. Aí isso teria só pra gerar engajamento. É de certo que você colocar desenho, a pessoa vai ver o vídeo achando que vai ter animação. Mas eu acho que nesse caso específico do Bom de Guerra, deve ser porque eles queriam trazer pessoas que jogaram Bom de Guerra pra assistir o vídeo. Então não faz sentido você desenhar uma fanart do Bom de Guerra. Faz mais sentido você colocar ali um Photoshop com os personagens do jogo pra dizer, olha, estamos usando as imagens do jogo pra fazer a paródia. Pelo menos na minha cabeça faz mais sentido. Esses dias eu tava procurando uns vídeos das demos do PS3 do Until Dawn. Mas ao mesmo tempo que você usa imagens do jogo, tem que ver se não tem direitos autorais, né? Porque às vezes fazer thumbs... Quando você tem assim um pouco mais de preocupação com isso, você tenta não pegar coisas com direitos autorais. Quando você tá trabalhando com isso. Eu, quando tô postando minhas gameplays, eu não penso tanto sobre isso. Mas se eu fosse trabalhar fazendo isso, talvez fosse melhor eu pensar mais. Tanto que eu queria fazer... Quando eu postar as gameplays de Steins Gate, que eu tô devendo há muitos séculos, as capas eu tava querendo fazer eu mesma, os desenhos. Opa!
Invadiu com 2 viajantes.
Fala, pessoal do Vimon, tudo bom com vocês? Sejam bem-vindos. Estava jogando Bloodstained, Curse of alguma coisa que eu não consigo ler. Sejam bem-vindos, como vocês estão? Às vezes o YouTube não regula bem os conteúdos. Não, eu não sei o que é pior hoje em dia, se é a Twitch, se é a YouTube. Depende, cada um é pior numa coisa, né? Aí quando acaba os vídeos sobre o que eu tava procurando, e o primeiro que o YouTube recomenda era um... Nossa! Eu nunca tive o azar de pegar esse tipo de coisa. O que é ótimo pra mim. Fala, Ono, Harou. Seja bem-vindo também. Como está? Eu estou suave esperando uma pizza e lendo Pesterquest. Are you shitting me? A gente tá, tipo, no último final da ROXY. Buster, I have never seen a more gorgeous thing in my entire existence, we are gonna take a fucking seat and soak in this nature with every one of our pores. The visible ones, I mean. Don't go getting any ideas. Or do, to be honest. You could be doing naked cartwheels right now and I wouldn't even notice because, as I said previously, my eyes are slurping up these sights. Fair. You're not agile enough for that, clothed or otherwise, but you're glad she likes it here. A gente tá deixando a Roxy feliz porque ela já sofreu muito nessa vida. The two of you sit for a while, soaking it in. This is a schedule-free life you lead, so however long it takes for her to talk is fine with you. It doesn't take too long, though. So, you met Jane. Jake too, if I'm not wrong. They talked about you some, but they've been more busy hanging out with you than talking about you, if I'm... O que é BTH, gente? O que é BTH? Eu não consegui achar até agora. BTH. Back to home. Believe the hype. Bottomless trap hole. Breaking the habit. É uma música do Linkin Park. Then talking about you if I'm... If I'm being too honest. Ah, tá. Ah, tá. If I'm being too honest. Se eu estou sendo muito sincera, pra ser bem sincera. Beethoven, bitch? Não. Dá pra perceber exatamente quando a Roxy fala bitch. How about Strider? He hasn't said anything about you, and I like to think he'd tell me if he got the first visitor of his whole life, but maybe he wouldn't be ready to share with me. Sim, especialmente quando o YouTube tá no modo anônimo. Não me orgulho de dizer que tem um certo canal que vejo pelo modo anônimo porque ele só dá spoiler nas thumbs e não quero que o algoritmo jogue nas minhas contas. As recomendações do modo anônimo são bizarras. Credo cruz. Being too honest. Você está correto. Então, uma vez eu ouvi falar, Matheus, que existe uma extensão do YouTube para navegador que você simplesmente consegue organizar canais que você quer receber conteúdo. Eu não sei exatamente como funciona, mas assim, imagina que você fez inscrição em alguns canais específicos, em uma conta específica, só que ele faz isso pra você automaticamente. Eu nunca usei essa extensão, só ouvi falar dela. Eu vi um pessoal falando disso no Reddit, se não me engano. Que eu tava procurando sobre extensões uma vez. Aí eu vi isso. Quando se fala de extensão, geralmente é na Web Store do Chrome ou na do Mozilla. A do Chrome funciona no Opera, pra quem usa Opera GX. Eu tenho usado Mozilla esses tempos atrás. Antes eu usava o Opera GX, mas hoje em dia eu tô usando Mozilla de novo. It's a pretty big thing for me, and for him, it would be even bigger. She seems poised to continue hypothesizing about him for a while, so you go ahead and tell her that no, you haven't met him, but you sure have heard a lot about him from Jake. Oh, lol, yeah. What? Would you get a different version of things from her? LMAO. How far in this drama you wanna get? You're already pretty far entrenched, as far as you can tell, so she might as well fill you in on the rest. Okay, so I'm about to lay it all out there for you. Because I trust you, and also I don't know what to do about it all, and some farm fresh opinions might just be what I need. LMAO, limão. The way she turns to you and clutches her hands together, launching directly into the story, you'd never think she was new to slumber party gossip. We got quite the love quadrangle going down in this friend group. É o que eu tava falando no começo da live. Janie and Dirk are both into Jake, which, like, fair. He's very sweet and hunk no matter how you slice it. Jake, as you may know, is a wild card here. No idea who he might go for, which is also fair. If I'm to continue to be a referee here, because Jane is a stone cold fox. Lucius bait going hack at places. Dorcas! He's just about perfect. Ela tinha uma queda pelo Dirk antes de descobrir que ele é gay. So, she throws off and wrinkles up her nose as she looks back out over the mountains. Her gaze is heavy with longing. Don't you hum me? What? Just seems like she's leading up to her spot in the quadrangle is all. Yeah, well, I'm in there. Like in the last one I mentioned. Oh, okay. What you're doing it? What? You're doing it again? Oh, just for a minute, you couldn't tell which direction she was headed. You thought she might be jealous of Dirk himself, the way she looked when she said all that, but it's that she has feelings for him. You're just trying to keep up. Roxy laughs and covers her face. Esse dinossaurinho é muito bom. Goddamn called out here on top of the fucking world. You're not wrong, I guess. In a way. Not to continue the vicious call out, but earlier it was her mom she said she tried to be like, and now it's Dirk. You're like the president of the universe at trying to figure out who you are and trying on different ways of being to see what fits. So no judgment there. It's just that it seems like she has a lot of questions about who she wants to be, which is legit as hell. That's life, baby. Yeah, I guess that's the whole thing, you know? I wanted to be like her because she's my family and like the only person I knew about for so long. Then I met him and I was like, oof, there's more unlockable options? Who knew? Como tu atua no Voice em muita coisa ligada a Jujutsu Kaisen, chegou a ver alguma coisa do jogo Cursed Clash? Eu não sei o que é isso. Deve ser um jogo de Jujutsu. Cursed Clash. Deixa eu ver. Cursed Clash. Eu vi que tinha... realmente. Bandai Namco Jujutsu Kaisen Cursed Clash. Eu vi algo sobre um jogo de Jujutsu e... Assim como um jogo de Boku no Hero, é bonito, mas eu não sei se é legal de jogar. E talvez eu nunca descubra. É bonito, pelo que eu tô vendo aqui na Steam. Jogo oficial que saiu em fevereiro. É o jogo de luta menos de luta que falam. Tem muito diálogo, então? Realmente, as análises estão neutras. Eu vi um burburinho sobre as pessoas não gostarem. Assim como eu ouvi um burburinho sobre as pessoas não gostarem do jogo do My Hero. Muito tempo atrás. Eu não sei, talvez eles façam isso pra um público japonês que não seja nada parecido com o resto do... ruim. Eu li a pessoa falando aqui, muito ruim. O resto do mundo? Achei os menus bem preguiçosos. Joguei no lançamento já que saiu... não. Pois é. Muita gente falando mal aqui, hein? Parece que é macaquinha esse jogo. Triste. Gojo pra soltar vazio roxo. Só achei uns pontos bons no gameplay. É bonito em estética, parece bem preguiçoso. É o que o pessoal tava falando aqui. Maybe I could, I don't know, I do have feelings for him, to be sure, but you're right. Sometimes with him, it does get all mixed up. You ever not sure if you wanna be somebody or be with somebody? I mean, I like the me I made from nothing, and I don't want every single piece of his bullshit, of course, but he's like this shadow just out of my range vision of like some kinda what if me if I had just been I don't know if this makes any fucking sense outside my own head though. What's that you said about the turnways mirror? Let's hop on that universe jumping train and see where it takes us. Metaphorically, I mean. I'm not ready to move a single ass cheek out this bitchin' rock yet. Eu posso ter entendido errado algo que eu disse no começo da live. Eu disse que ela gostava do Jake. Mas, lembrando agora, realmente ela gostava do Dirk. Só que ela foi falar disso pro Dirk, e o Dirk ficava desconversando. Eventualmente ela descobriu que ele era gay e que ele gostava do Jake. Aí, o fato dela falar que gostava do Jake, eu acho que ela não chegou a falar, mas eu acho que a Jane interpretou que ela gostava do Jake. Eu acho que foi isso que aconteceu, por isso que eu tô lembrando errado. E sim, ela comete uns typos, ela escreve, entre aspas, errado, porque ela bebe muito. Triste, eu sei, mas enfim. Apertando o botão azul e vermelho junto. Ah, isso parece ser da hora, pô. Quando você aperta o botão e acontece no jogo algo que é realmente referente ao botão, isso é maneiro. É poético. It's all metaphorical anyway. Well, not the multiple universes thing. That's pretty much a fact, as far as you can tell. But the turning yourself inside out bit, whatever it is about him that she feels pulling at her, the thing she wants for herself, it's probably bigger than him anyway. Feelings. He's just the person who made her notice it, same as it was with her mom. And anyway, it turns out lots of options are unlockable once you realize some locks were in your brain to begin with. Nossa, peraí que essa foi forte, peraí. Lots of options are unlockable once you realize some locks were in your brain to begin with. Essa aqui eu poderia emoldurar e colocar aqui no meu escritório. Damn, buddy. Né? Damn, buddy, indeed. Is this what it's always like to talk to friends face to face? Kind of. Hauling up piles of deep, meaningful truths left and right? Or is this just a you thing? You have absolutely no way of knowing, but you do know it happens to you a lot. It's different every time, though, and it never gets old. Good, because I feel like this got up layer 1 of all my thoughts and feelings about this stuff. I'm a little afraid to dig deeper, but if you're there with me, maybe we'll find some shit in there and not just big empty question marks. Shit, yeah, you can go for round 2, whatever. Your game keep digging at identity all day if she wants. Though they did come up here to decide who to visit, right? Does this mean the choice is Dirk? God, I don't know, man. Yeah, maybe. Eventually. I want to see all of 3 of them, plus another friend I haven't mentioned yet, but you'd get along with her because she's also an alien. But I might want to start with my kid mom, who is visitable? Not yet, though. Lol, I never would have thought I'd be putting this off any longer than I had to, but meeting you has been one of the best things I ever did. Oh, I want to sit and stew in this friend soup with you for a bit longer. And then savor the bites of my other friends' soups when I can. However ready to eat or not I might be. Shit, this metaphor is getting away from me. Can you take over? You're not sure how salvageable it is, but yeah. You're down to simmer with her as long as she wants. And you think she and her teen mom will get along very well, shared mom trauma and drama included, whenever it comes time to introduce them. She shouldn't worry about being perfectly ready either. You haven't skipped ahead to see who she becomes, but you're pretty confident she has it in her to be someone she can be proud of and comfortable being. Someone that can look back on this ROXY with kindness too, no matter what choices she ends up making. You're gonna make me cry again, please? No. Also, not that I'm gonna forget today ever, but I should document. She pulls her phone out and holds it up to frame her shot. She's glowing in the light of sunrise. You watch her, you watch the sun, you watch the fog curl through the valleys below. Okay, now a selfie. She drapes her arm over your shoulders and points the camera at the both of you. Oh, work it. Oh yeah, that's one cute as fuck. She messes with her phone, opening a chat with someone whose handle you don't recognize. You wonder, as she sends the photo their way, if it's the alien friend. It'd be cool if ROXY was friends with a troll you hadn't met yet. Hey, you there? I know IG. O que é ID? Eu sempre vejo os gringos falando ID, mas eu nunca sei o que é. Não, não é Instagram. I guess. Tá, ok. Essa era até fácil de tentar guess, né? Mas enfim. CPF gringo. Não, isso é... O CPF gringo é uma coisa que a Twitch pede pra você. É o... Como é que chama? Não é TIP, é ICF? Ah, não sei. Gosto dos jogos da Bandai pelo motivo que a maioria roda em PC mais fracos, mesmo sendo alguns lançamentos recentes. Sério? Nossa, isso é bem legal. Não ID, é ID. I guess not, but it's okay. I just wanted to say hi. I know we didn't talk much about the game not being on anymore last time we got to chatting, but I know we were both feeling it. And I got so many more updates for you when you're back online, so get hype. And check out this choice as view I'm peeping right now as a preview. Thinking of you. O que é TTLY? Totally. Ah, totally. Okay. I'm thinking of you totally. It's time to get comfy on this rock. You may end up being here for a while, since ROXY is not quite ready to get zapped anywhere else. Which, when you consider it, it's fine. Eu lembrei do Alan, pegou no flagra um BR se passando por gringo, porque o cara, pra provar que era gringo, mandou "Here's my CEP". Porra. Zip code. There's a difference, you think, between inaction and patience. There are small, weighty changes made in stillness. You, worried you choose too much, and ROXY, afraid she was robbed of choice from the start, meet in the middle. Poético. She pockets the phone and grins at you. You lean back on your elbows and tilt your head up toward the sky. Chilling. Ah, que gracinha! E é isso, completamos a rota da ROXY. A rota da ROXY, é. Eu ia tentar fazer um trocadilho, mas é isso aí. Nossa, eu tô morrendo de fome, gente. Into the future. You vibed with ROXY on the edge of a vast alpine woodland. Vast. Aí agora sobrou o Dirk. E algumas outras coisas, pelo visto. Isso que nós lemos agora foi volume 13, Friendship Wizard. E agora eu tenho o volume 14, Just Go Ahead Now. Eu tô morrendo de fome. Será se eu jogo a parte do Dirk? Ou eu deixo pra quarta-feira? Bom, se a pizza chegar eu posso comer aqui, né? There's a ROXY in the way there's a ROXY. Não era ele que falava isso. Não é, nossa, não era remotamente ele que falava isso. Não fala mal do Carlos Drummond de Andrade, não, pô. Tadinho. You've come a long way. You've made a lot of friends and managed to keep them all. You're helping them grow, and you're growing alongside them, while also entrenching yourself in some ridiculous nonsense along the way. Olavo Bilac é muito antes do que você tá querendo. Não muito, mas assim, é antes do que você tá pensando. Living, laughing, loving, shitting and farting. What? O que é shitting? É tipo shitting, só que menos. Troca. O que é farting? Aprendendo inglês aqui na hora, gente. Fardeando. Tipo, fazendo fardas. As is right and in balance. You think so anyway. You're still on the lookout for any specific bits of meaning to help nail down your sense of purpose, and it carries every which way according to the whims of friendship and fancy. There's a natural flow to this all. Trolls in sets of 12, give or take since some come in pairs. As you think back to your first round of friends, kids in sets of 4. You've had time to realize more about the earths you've been hopping between. A kid on one is an adult on the other. It's been weirdly reliving, seeing multiple versions of your friends. Not that you seem to be bound by any of the same rules that they are. It's just that, as someone whose self has been scattered to the winds of time, regathered thanks to Aradia, and is still not fully stable, it's kind of nice to see that it's not just you out there trying different shit out self-wise. When you think about the last friend left to visit in this set, you can't help but feel a bit guilty. With everything Jake told you about him, and from what you know of Dave's bro, you're not exactly meeting him with a clean slate. You haven't let anyone else's complicated personality traits hold you back from finding a way to befriend them, though, and you're not about to start now. You'll find a way to make it work. God, isn't it fun having such a complicated and nuanced triangle of interpersonal relationships within your friend group? Pardon. Isn't it such a delightful challenge? Anyway, the point is, it's time to go meet Dirk. So you go. You don't know much about where he lives, except that it's in the future. Like ROXY minus chess guys. You zap on over what should almost definitely be the perfect distance from his door. Oh my. Movimento. Não tava esperando por isso. There's a moment where you are weightless, suspended in midair like the cartoon Coyote Man, whose name you cannot remember because suddenly you are plummeting downward, and that takes all of your attention. From what you can see in flashes as you spin head over heels, the thing you are rapidly approaching is the ocean. Before you achieve game fucking over, before you even begin, you stall yourself with a zap in and out of reality, appearing just a few inches above the water. You land with a delicate splash. Now that the imminent threat of death has passed, you look up. Metal rises up from the water in a towering scaffold. Scaffold. Acho que é scaffold. 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 É o andaime. Dirk must live in the building up there. God damn it. You haul yourself up onto the janky platform at the corner of the scaffolding, a few above water rungs upward, and get your shit together. It's not much to look at. You probably wouldn't even be able to spot it from a distance, but it'll do. In a minute, you can pop back up to the top floor, but you should wring yourself out first. There's a chair, which is weird. you sit in it. That was a slick fucking trick. Not the stealing my seat bit, though I do respect your presumptuous ass placement choices too. I mean the entrance, nice save. You roll around, but there's no one there. Aside from the endless ocean, the only shit in sight is the stuff on the platform. Which, now that you're considering it, kinda reminds you of one of those outdoor man caves you sometimes see at rich people's houses. The kind where you don't know enough about electricity to get why rain just doesn't fuck the whole thing up, except instead of like a girl. Gente, esqueci como é que fala essa palavra. A girl. Não é girl. É grill. Grill. Eu tô mouse. A grill and a TV, an ashtray with an old cigar in it. Cigar? Acho que é cigar. Ele cigarante? Cigar. It's a few screens, a keyboard, a turntable, and speaker, a couple of hoverboard-looking things, and some complicated aquatic equipment. Steven Cigar. É ele aqui em Minas Gerais, né? Both situations contain a mini fridge. Dirk, you say his name, and hope she shows up. After ROXY, you really thought you weren't going to be bamboozled by another fake-out meeting, but who the fuck knows? Maybe this guy's a ghost? Eu gosto muito dessa palavra, bamboozled. No, that's stupid. The one and only. Where is he? There's no need to get freaked out about it. I'm just talking through the speakers. Or, more accurately... Ah, isso aqui não é um saco de areia, isso aqui é um alto-falante. I'm just sending data through a text-to-speech converter, which is playing through the speakers. This isn't a function I've ever had occasion to dust off, so this is genuinely thrilling. Thank you for trying and failing so miserably to break and enter in pursuit of friendship, or whatever you were doing. Cigar é charuto. Pois é, acabei de ver aqui também. É o primo do Naruto, né? É o Charuto! Oh, you know, you do your best. Is there a place he'd want to, meet, maybe? So you all could talk in meet space? That's not exactly my forte. My forte. Acho que é forte que fala assim. Peraí. Forte. Viu? É forte. Let's just keep chatting like this for a bit. Bro to bro. You can use the computer if the power of my voice is getting to be too much for you. It almost is for me, if I'm being honest here. From above, there's a metallic whirring sound. Oh shit, that is on. You look up and Dirk's rappelling down the scaffolding at an alarming speed. Lindo! The jig is up, so we might as well wrap this shit up. Dirk swings in, landing with both feet on the platform. He straightens and stares at you, chin up. Well, you think he's staring at you. He's wearing shades, which you expected. It's been real, and don't worry, I won't be far. I never am. Neither Dirk's hand nor his mouth are moving, but his voice still playing over the speakers. Your smile's nervous and probably too full of teeth. What's going on? So you're the friendable alien I've heard about. I thought for a minute you already ate it, but I see you Peter Panned that shit. I'm not unimpressed. He says this the regular way, with his mouth. It should put you at ease, but it does not. Does he not remember talking about that already? You tell him it's nice to talk face to face, since you thought he didn't want to a minute ago when you first met. Oh, that wasn't me. Oh, you thought... Oh, wait, what? It wasn't? No, you just met a divergently involved copy of my 13-year-old brain. The use of the speaker system is new, but it makes sense he'd up his game for interfering with relationships I'm busy forging in 3D. I guess I should go ahead and be proud of him for it. Well, damn, okay. You guess you have no reason to believe that's not possible since... Wait, did he say relationships he's busy forging? Isso não é aquela anime da Guilda das Fadas? O quê? Como assim? O que Ferteu teve com isso? Isn't that your whole thing? I was under the impression that you were here to befriend me. My friends haven't exactly kept quiet about you. I just figured you were saving the best for last. Oh no, that's right. That is your thing. You just thought he might be more of a challenge. Wait, are you friendship nagging him right now? Is that what's happening? How did it come to this? Well, hold on. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Okay then, never mind. You guess it's working. Might as well roll with it. Don't half-ass this one just cause I know the gig. I still expect you to friend woo the shit out of me. Blitz the fuck out of my friendship chakra till I see the universe's heart through its asshole and what have you. Buddy, you've been around the friendship block a time or two. He has no reason to worry. You have full confidence in your ability to show him the friendship time of his life. Oh, I'm ready. I have a list of my deepest secrets ready to unload on you right here, right now, if you think you can take it. He sure is talking a big game of preparedness, but you're not sure how true it all is. Every line of muscle in his body is held in excruciating placidity. You've never seen a jaw so purposefully unclenched. It's almost like he's begging you to call him on it. You do not call him on it. You're not sure how he'd get the idea that you could have asked this, of all things. You just prove it to him with your deeds. It seems like that might be his love language. With that in mind, you hold your fist out for him to bump. Oh yes, that's the universal signal of brohood, sacrosanct around all of space-time. You would be honored to give him his first. The corner of his mouth twitches, not quite a smile. What kind of monster would I have to be to refuse you? You do the thing. If he's having a moment about having touched another person for the first time, he isn't showing it, which is fine, each at their own pace, right? So, now that we've got that handled, what's next on the agenda? Do we leap straight into the heartfelt Q&A? Or are we doing an activity first? Man, what should you do next? You're not used to your friends giving you the third degree about your process, so you're a little out of step. You can't tell if he's genuinely curious or if he knows he's embellishing you. Either way, it's intense. You look around for inspiration. Grilling? Nah, you're not a cup of dads. Oh, the high-tech scuba gear could be cool. The tingle of choice pricks at your neck. Não vamos brincar de subnáutica, chega. I'm not sure you have the musculature to hold that up, no offense. I didn't have your literal stick figure proportions in mind when I designed it, and it's built more for looks than weight efficiency, so I don't think you'd last long in it. You're not missing much though. It's not particularly thrilling down in there anyway. Oh, woo, good point. You can totally see yourself sinking like a stone, flailing your arms in a vain attempt at trying to look cool while swimming, clawing at the metal clasps to free yourself. Zapping out as a last resort, but misjudging distance due to the distracting water in your mouth. Você não ouviu nada, Matheus. Você não ouviu nada. It all going black as you wonder why you didn't learn better when you hung out with the fairy. Damn, that was a pretty detailed thought trail. Weird. Anyway, you could just hang out at his place instead. The classic option. That works for me. You hold out your hand to zap him alongside you, but he doesn't take it. I'll meet you there. His inflection tilts up at the end, a sound shaped like a half a question he wants you to construe the meaning of yourself. What's the alternative? You piggyback ride as he climbs all the way up? He shrugs. Yes, if you're up to it. I typically rocket board up, but a grueling climb is as good a way as any to kill a morning, so either way. You consider your options, as much as you want to see if he actually has it in him to beast you up the entire tower. Rocket boarding sounds infinitely more fun. You tell him as much. Hop up then. Radical. He kicks it into place and fires it up, offering you his hand. Don't have anything to lose but another life, so you take it. Steadily, but fast enough so you have to cling to his shirt for safety, you fly upward. He circles the tower a few times, in no hurry to make it to the top. That, or his showing off? You don't think that's it, but you're still working it out. The confidence in the way his body moves now, the subtle shifts in weight to steer the machine, it all feels genuine. Like this is a much more comfortable thing for him than the conversation was. The wind wipes your face. There's sea in every direction. You land on the top of the tower, and he waits for you to hop down before doing the same, and then kickflips the rocket board into quiescence. Here we are, home sweet home. I hope you're prepared for just how homey this shit is, too. I've had nothing but time to flex my massive decor muscles. Jesus Cristo amado. Peraí que agora nós temos isso aqui no ambiente, podemos usar... Isso mesmo. You follow him inside and to his room like you have with everyone else. It's full of his shit like everyone else. Unlike everyone else, he leans against his workbench, calm and collected and clearly, with every fiber of his being, waiting for your judgment. You wonder if it's weird how you can tell that about him, since it does seem like he's putting a lot of effort into the facade. You aren't sure if he's unpracticed at having an audience, or if you're just extra good at reading people by now. Maybe it's the shades that are messing with you? They're nothing new after Dave, but with Dirk, it's almost like he'd be less penetrable without them. You try and focus on the decor, as he clearly wants you to. What do we got going on? Oh, okay. There are themes of puppets, horses, robots, and musical equipment. It's got the post-ironic whimsy of Dave's style, which you figure makes sense, considering this universe's Dave had a hand in stocking it, but with a dash of acquiescence and bashed taste. That's a bit of a surprise, but sure. Martha Stewart would fall to her knees, weeping at her defeat, you tell him. Utterly destroyed by the Feng Shui, eu não sei como é que fala Feng Shui em inglês, mas deve ser isso aí mesmo. The Feng Shui in my cinder block placement. Deixa eu ver. Feng Shui? Feng Shui. She'd retire on the spot, you say. The more you play off his jokes, the more he seems to loosen up for real, so you continue. Much better than a scuba diving trip already. What's down there anyway? The ruins of 21st century civilization mostly. Oh shit, yeah, boring as hell. He pauses and tilts his head, considering. I wouldn't call them boring necessarily. It's more that I find it cosmically frustrating to swim in literally any radio line and find nothing but the wasted leftovers of a dead city. Aside from being dependent on it as a source of food, the ocean mostly functions for me as a suffocating and inescapable natural barrier between me and the rest of human history. It's a constant, lapping reminder of my situation, so I'm not often hyped to pile the decibars on it. Not sure how well my deep personal beef with the imagery of the sea will land for you, but there it is. I think it might not be so offensive to me where the metaphor is less blatant. It's embarrassing. Anyway, there's the first of my layers off. Feels fresh. Let's keep going. What else have you got? Eu ouvi falar desse X-Men que tá saindo, né? Acho que vou ter que ver o clássico primeiro. Eu acho que sim. Eu ainda não fui atrás pra ter certeza, mas eu acho que é isso mesmo. Acho que, tipo, você tem que ver o clássico pra entender melhor esse X-Men 97 aí. Eu não tô, assim, com muita vontade de ver, não, sabe? Tipo, sozinha, assim, não vi. Quer dizer, acho que eu vi, mas eu já esqueci. Acho que eu vi algo sobre, mas eu já esqueci. It's a little unsettling how direct he's been about the friendship building process, but it's not like you haven't been categorically pushy to achieve that title with literally everyone you have memory of having met, so fair game. Nossa, agora que eu vi a caixa decapitadora. You're sure you can come up with some things you've been curious about, if he's ready to dive in the deep end, and if he'll forgive the continued aquatic figurative language, the love quadrangle, the questionable settings of the robotic gift choice for his would-be paramour, the differences of opinion on playing the game. He seems to be enjoying the theatrically of the friendship metagaming dance you're doing, so you amp it up for him. You clasp your hands behind your back and pace his room as you monologue, pausing for effect when the impulse strikes you. As you talk, you consider which would be the right issue to end on, to really zing him into opening up. Maybe his feelings about his universe's Dave, or just for fun, maybe where the horse shtick comes from. Depending on which you choose, you could end up... Ele foi demitido porque descobriram que o maluco tinha um Only e não queria associar a marca deles com o cara, sacanagem de ter demitido. Ah, ele tinha um OnlyFans. Real, eu vi essa notícia, mas eu apaguei da memória. Que coisa, né? Devia estar numa cláusula, sei lá. Loath as I am to interrupt this Ace Attorney monologue, I wouldn't touch that. You look down at where you were about to dramatically place your hand, and there's a goddamn sword there, haphazardly stored in the hands of some fucking dead-eyed puppet. Again, your brain careens down a fleeting pathway, accidental pressure, a clean slice, blood, a lot of it, and leave the katanas for the big boys. Although, if you want to touch a weapon, holy shit, do I have an idea. He scoots by... Eu tô vendo que eles gostaram muito de fazer o Dirk, porque fizeram ele de costas, fizeram ele assim, fizeram ele assado, coisa na corda, sabe? Eles fizeram muitos PNGs pro Dirk. He scoots by you and reaches into the corner of the room, coming up holding a really shitty blue sword. Até a mão dele fica bugada quando ele pega a espada, é isso mesmo? Acho que não, acho que isso é da espada mesmo. Sword is a loose term, though, and honestly holding is too. An object so shitty you can barely focus on it is sort of clipping through his hands. He holds it out to you as best as he can. O melhor merece mais pose. Ah, temos um preferido aí, né, Matheus? Ninguém que tenha OnlyFans pode trabalhar. Ou isso, ou estavam perseguindo o cara. E daí acharam uma brecha aí pra poder demitir ele. O que eu não duvidaria também, né? In the name of the succulent convergence of science and horse shit, I need to see what happens when you touch this thing. You reach out and take it from his hands. It steadies under your grasp. Dirk hops up into his workbench to sit and observe, and you slice it through the air a time or two. Meu pai do céu. Eu não consegui nem ler aquilo, mas acho que era a mesma coisa. Absolutely goddamn incredible. Something about your narrative liminality and rudimentary form must allow you to actually wield this piece of shit artifact I inherited from my bro. The implications... Agora que eu percebi os passarinhos aqui... Agora que eu percebi que são passarinhos, eu não tava notando, achei que fossem lenços voando, sei lá. The implications of this are likely jack fucking nothing, but still easily the best thing I've ever seen. He's leaning forward, laughing, dimples carved into his freckled cheeks. There's a small twist in your heart about it, and you can't place why. You're really just able to hold that fucking thing. He clears his throat and settles down, adjusting his glasses. Thanks for that. Anyway, where were we? Alright, you were attempting to locate my weak points. Did you want to keep adding to the list, or zero in on one option? Or zero in on one option? So far, the short answers are 1. A quartet of teens with not a lot of choices. What do you expect? 2. Call up my autoresponder if you want us to hash that one out. 3. It's all under control. You guess it all boils down to the same general topic, really. His friends. That's where this whole thing always ends up anyway, right? Especially since you're his pathway to being able to hang out with them now. Dirk just shrugs. Huh. You'd have thought he'd have a stronger opinion about that one. Doesn't he want to hang out with his friends? Doesn't he want to finally meet Jake? He wrinkles his face like you've shoved a lemon in his mouth. Come on, dude. You can't just spirit me away to the person I want to see most right off the bat. At least make me try and earn it first. He shifts his weight. The light from the window bounced off the choppy mirror of the ocean is bright against his back. Does he have to earn it? You mean, doesn't he think it's been hard enough already? His laugh this time is hollow. Is there a cap on that? You're not sure, but your whole existence is a series of cheat codes, so what else does he expect from you? You whip the sword. You wipe the sword around a few times to prove your point, but it kind of makes you dizzy to watch, so you put it back in the corner. That's me in the corner. Deixa eu ver como é que fala whip. I whip my hair back and forth. Acho que é whip mesmo. É whip, de chicote. And anyway, you know he'll cave at some point. How else is he gonna see them? Is he gonna get to see them now that the game is off? He shrugs again. You shrug too much. What? He does know they're not playing anymore, right? Like, they're even talking about a larger operation to shut the whole thing down for everyone on the planet? I know they think that's what's happening, but I'm not worried about it. They'll all play when the time comes. How in the world does he know that? Last you checked, with any of them, they had all moved on. I haven't gotten around to convincing them yet. But I will. It's clear that you've spent a lot of time with them, but they're my friends too. I think I know what they'll do. His dismissiveness is raising your heart to raise heckles. That's not really the point, though, you say. Won't trying to get them back on board just amp up the conflict in his friend group? And more importantly, why bother trying to make that choice for them? He doesn't even need the game anymore. You can just take him to see them. He can skip the machinations and just hang out with his friends without having to prove anything to anyone. It's easy. The slight tightening of his eyebrows is the only thing that shows his frustration. The rest of him is still. The vowels in his drawl are slick and sharp, black eyes on a curved country road. It's not that simple. Do you think I don't want to see him? Do you think I tear off a single page of my sweet bro and hella Jeff TM quote-a-day calendar without thinking about that? There are a lot of cards and a lot of hands here, which I'm not sure you're truly appreciating the importance of. I can't just fold mine and hope your shit works out instead. Things are in motion. Things have been in motion since before I was born. You can't just stop them without massive fallout. Falou a palavra. A garota que é mais fácil nos Estados Unidos é a Easy. Ou então o personagem mais fácil do Digimon é o Easy. Yeah, you're not saying you know all the answers, just that you know some of them, and you feel like he could trust you a little bit. He looks at you like you've slapped him. Trust you? Well, yeah. A weak puff of air leaves his mouth as he shakes his head. This entire morning has been an exercise in trust. Has it? Dirk is still for a minute. He's probably still staring at you behind those shades. When he speaks again, his voice is steady, but the room is heavy with every ounce of tension he's suppressing. Okay, let's sketch this out. What are the parameters of vulnerability that would count if the ones I'm extending don't? You are just freewheeling there, but you guess you gotta come up with something concrete for him. Okay, how's this? He does all this dangerous scuba diving and sword fighting and rocket boarding shit that could go sideways at any moment, but he wouldn't even let you zap him. O personagem Digimon que mais temos dúvida de quem é o Ken. Quem? There's an example. Ok, yes, that's true. Dá pra fazer um vídeo inteiro, né, de trocadilhos com um personagem de Digimon. Porque parece que ele tá a todo momento fazendo uma JoJo pose, porque acho que é tipo isso mesmo. Ok, yes, that's true. I want to be the only one in charge of endangering my own life. You got me. Esse cara, se ele visse Rick e Morty, nossa, ele ia ficar falando, eu sou literalmente o Rick o tempo todo, eu tenho certeza disso. Ele é musculosinho, olha só. But trust isn't only meaningful if it's given completely or in terms of physical safety. I've been preparing myself for this, for you, ever since I heard you were even making the rounds. I was ready to... He trails off, shaking his head. His wordlessness seems to frustrate him more than anything you've said. He seems really unpracticed at getting riled up, and you wonder how often someone pushes his buttons like this. You're not really sure how the two of you got to this point. Argumentative isn't your main mode, either, and you can tell you pushed too far. Never mind. Here. He hops off the workbench, rolls his shoulders, and grabs your hand. Do it. You don't ask where. You pick somewhere close by, but scary enough for his thrill-seeker ass to feel like it was worth the effort. The air up at the top of the tower on Dirk's roof is calmer than you'd have thought it would be. He drops your hand and steps back, leaning against the landing. Crusted. See, sometimes trying new shit and trusting people with your well-being can be fine. Sometimes all you need is a friend to prove to you that they have your back. Dirk scrunches his face up like you're embarrassing him. You mean, empirically speaking, it seems like what just happened is solid proof that... Okay, yeah, I get it, thanks. He's smiling, so you don't push into that thank you. But you do wonder, after a minute of looking out over the ocean with him, if it's time to scoot things along. You aren't in a hurry, really, but you were getting somewhere before, even if it was a little uncomfortable. He's trying. Maybe harder than anyone has actively tried to befriend you yet. The fact that you think that is still sort of funny to you. You think that is still sort of funny to you. But maybe Dirk isn't this transparent to everyone? Maybe it's just you and your non-stop thirst to know people? How much has this boy wanted to be known? You remember your earlier skepticism about him and left yourself. You haven't had to make yourself try to like him at all. You just do. Weird, uptight shit and everything. There's a lot of Dirk going on in there, but you're ready to try and understand him more. It's what you do. Os personagens de Digimon, sabe qual seria o que viraria um rapper se fosse em direção ao ocidente? Kanye West. Talvez tenha ido muito longe pra vocês. Kanye West. Você acha que foi muito longe, Matheus? Eu diria que você foi longe e dobrou uma esquina ainda. So you press on. Try one more time to convince him to drop the idea of playing the game. Give it a rest and talks about something else. Eu vou nesse aqui de baixo. Não dá? Holy shit, this is excruciating. I keep thinking if I ignore this bullshit, it will sort itself out, but Christ. I don't need to see this. No one needs to see this. What the fuck? Huh? What? Wait, can he not hear? You've stopped the choice train once before yourself, but you've never been interrupted by someone else. I thought we were having a chill bro moment until just now. I have no clue what you're talking about. I can't believe I was ever this pathetic. Dirk, you had all day, every day to do nothing but get swollen both body and mind, and this is how you spent your time? Looking wistfully out at the sky? No wonder you're out here falling for this friendship's weak shit overtures. Oh my god, what? Once again, you find yourself looking around for a Dirk who is nowhere to be found. Regular Dirk, who you were finally getting somewhere with, is looking at you like you've lost your last marble. Dirk really doesn't hear that? It sounds like him, just like older and meaner. No, dude, are you okay? Fine. If your meager little brain needs me to assume corporeal form in order to process this, I'll do it. Feast your eyes. Meu Deus, o que tá acontecendo aqui? Holy shit. Holy shit. Sup, Dirk? I'll get to you in a minute. I have to deal with this little meddler first. He turns out to you, and you step back reflexively. Your eyes flick to your Dirk, who is staring mouth-slacking at his older self. I've let you piss around for far too long. To be fair to myself, which is important, I have had a lot on my plate. Creating a whole species from scratch isn't child's play. So, I let this go on, figuring you'd fuck up and die for real. But you keep coming back, and it's getting out of hand. So the plan is this. Let my man Dirk do his thing. You fuck off and let people live their arcs. I clean up your mess and then get back to being God, while this timeline continues on as it's supposed to. Are we good? Jesus, alternative timelines and multiple selves aren't anything particularly new to you, you think, but you still don't know what goes so far up his ass here. No, we're not good. You were in the middle of something, a secret rite of friendship to be fucked up by no one but yourself. You don't know what kind of stuff the future holds, but that isn't your purview. This is, and he's the one interrupting that. Oh my god, I can't work like this. You have to understand the scale we're working with. He flicks you upside the temple, and you feel instantly like your brain got strapped to the nose of a rocket ship on liftoff. MSPAR, remember? You see a young man standing in his bedroom. Wait, you know him. Your eyes roll back in your head, and you feel his story rush into you, panel by panel, page by page. Some of it you remember from when you were trapped in Doc Scratch's apartment, and other stuff is newer, raw and sweet and sickening. Gente do céu, vamos ter que ler homestuck tudo de novo, é isso? Honks and caws and glubs and blahs froth together in a synaptical transmutation of an unholy cultural zeitgeist that jolts through you like light, blasting down your cerebral cortex and out through your clenched teeth. When it's done, you collapse on the floor. Oh fuck. You remember it. You remember Homestuck. It's all so fresh too. So many of your friends dead. Some of them more than once. Shit. Dirk. You open your eyes and Dirk is standing over you, his hand on your shoulder. Oh good, you're alive. You were starting to freaking me out. Almost as much as shredded and deranged me over there is freaking me out. But let's just take this all a step at a time. Anyway, now that you're up, what just happened? Future me was being a real cryptic dick while you were conked out. Patience is a virtue, Dirk. I just had to get our time-traveling buddy informed first, so they can make the right call. Shit, okay. You don't know where to begin. You look at Dirk's face, not even trying to hide his concern for you, and holy shit, you care about him. You cared about him before you knew every tiny fucked up detail about his life, and now, with a reminder of where his story leads leaning smugly against the railing, you find that you still do. He's intense and pushy and profoundly complicated, and right now, he's helping you to your feet, his hand steady and firm on your back as you find your balance. You look back and forth between the two of them, trying to organize your thoughts as Dirk waits for you to respond. This isn't as simple as an evil Dirk and a good one. If you've learned anything from your travels, it's that everyone has the capacity for hurt inside them, and everyone the capacity for love. It's just a matter of proportion, of choice, of circumstance, of time, and, if you're being fair, of interpretation too. Part of you wants to grab Dirk and run, to save him from this trajectory he's on, but then, if you claim that level of control, are you really any better than ultimate Dirk is himself? Who the fuck are you to make these choices for other people? What gives you the right to wrench cannon from the people it belongs to, the people it is about? Why does it always come back to you making a fucking choice? Go ahead and answer him. I'll correct you if you get anything wrong, don't worry. Oh, you bet he fucking will, you say. No doubts there. You pause your internal debate, take a deep breath, and explain things to your friend. This is the Mega Dirk, the combo of all splinters of Dirk, fermenting in his flesh container and not holding on to his shit nearly as well as he likes to pretend. Ultimate Dirk. You wish. You ignore him and continue explaining. Ultimate Dirk has done a lot of heinous shit to the people he used to care about, to the people Dirk cares about. And he just brain blasted you with memories you used to have of, among other things, everything that will ever happen to Dirk and to his friends in the future. All in order to convince you to keep everything on that path. He wants the same thing Dirk just finished arguing with you about wanting, a future where they play the game. Dirk is still staring at Ultimate Dirk. Shit. You keep going, telling him you know it might be far-fetched from his vantage point, but this is a path he goes down. Dirk finally speaks us. No, I can see it. I mean, if anyone was going to pull an I'm you but stronger, it would be all of me combined. Exactly. So now we should all be on the same page vis-a-vis what we all need to do. Aliás, como é que pronuncia vis-a-vis? É assim mesmo? Vis-a-vis? Pra mim é vis-a-vis, mas enfim. Which starts with this flat fuck going back to whatever they came from, and the rest of us going back to our regularly scheduled programming. God, you can't even look at this guy, you think, as you look at him. He's so smug, trapped so far down the path he's planned for himself that he can't even entertain the idea that he could be wrong without it tearing him apart. The more you look at him, the more you can't stand him. Prince of Heart ass bastard destroying everything you worked to make. Fuck. Forget all that stuff you worried about before. How dare you let yourself be convinced you could be right? Your allegiance is not to the story, but to the people within it. No matter what. Do you have a plan for how to protect your friends without the tenets of canon? No. Do you give a single shitting fuck? Also no. You know he could end you immediately, but you feel freed by the number of times you've died. You do not fear him, he's not your concern. You turn to Dirk. You're sorry, you say, but fuck this guy. Don't listen to him. Everything you just remembered, all the stuff he was using to prove his point, it only makes you even more sure of what you said before. That Dirk can still be happy without all that. He doesn't have to play the game to beat it. Wow, listen to them trying to boss you around like that, Dirk. I'll tell you what you don't do. Don't for a second think I'm too far gone to remember what it's like to be you. Don't pretend you haven't wanted to know what I know, to align every part of yourself until you know it all, feel it all. Don't be afraid of becoming who you need to become. The end always justifies the means, Dirk. We know this. Fuck that! You're sorry to yell, you never yell this much, but fuck that! This bitch can't bear the thought of a timeline existing without his influence or even his worldview, that everything has to be painful to matter. Things are already painful enough. He doesn't have to work overtime to create more pain just so he can feel like he's in control of how much punishment he gets and now how badly he deserves it. Because Dirk doesn't deserve it, you say. And you look at the one you mean it for. He's not looking back at you. He's looking at Ultimate Dirk, and there's something about the soft falling arc on his eyebrows that just folds you up and eats you whole. It's longing like you've never seen in your life, deep and consuming, with a silver glint of loathing. He's going to drown in it if you don't do something. What could you do, you wonder? You care about him, and he does about you to a degree. You know Dirk now. And you know how he loves, though it's fierce to a definite fault, he does not do it easily. You're not the one who can't get him through this. He hasn't known you long enough, but you can be a bridge. But to whom? Part of you wants to test out a few things. To throw a couple friends at the wall and see what sticks. That doesn't sit right with you right now, though. It's messy, and you know Dirk would hate having his feelings experimented on like that. Even after all this, you find yourself not wanting to do that to him. Thank fuck for your side ability to animate monologue to yourself in your head without time passing too quickly, because you really need to think this one through. You have to pick one single person to help convince him he doesn't need that what Ultimate Dirk is offering. Jake? God, no, not right now. He'd be eaten alive by Ultimate Dirk, and you can't do that to him. He's your friend too. Maybe a wild card, someone Dirk doesn't know but could get along with? Aqueous? He's like Dirk if Dirk liked to get bossed around, so they might get along great, actually. Though you need someone who can tell Dirk what to do in this moment, so then again, maybe not. A pizza chegou! Oh. You can't hedge your bets and bring everyone because that'll just overwhelm him. Plus, there's no budget or time for that. The answer punches you hard in the chest, and you're about to sneak away to find them when Ultimate Dirk speaks up. That was a touching rant you just gave. Very compelling. You know what? Fine. Do what you do best and choose. Steal him away to obscurity or leave him to his destiny. I'm not worried. In fact, as a show of my trust in my younger splinter, I'll even fuck off myself until go time. On the 1 in a million chance you do actually get him to go with you, there's no way that's gonna be a good end. We all know he'd regret it. Quero uma fatia. Não sei se vai sobrar, Matheus. Eu comerei todas. He'll second guess if it was the right thing every day of his life until he realizes what a flaccid existence he's leading. But by then, it'll be too late. Do your worst. There's a jolt, and then he's gone. Gostei do efeito ali que deu. There's a bit of silence when you try to work out how to act normal, now that you know what you know, but thankfully he speaks first. Are all your hangouts this buck fucking wild, or did you really pull out all the stops for me? Então, esse tipo de coisa que aconteceu agora é o tipo de coisa que aconteceria em qualquer rota do Dirk, porque, tipo, um Dirk nunca é demais, pelo visto. Em todas as histórias que tem a ver com homestuck, um Dirk nunca é apenas um Dirk, é sempre milhões de Dirks. Well, you were about to pull out another when Ultimate Dirk just blasted off like that. It's not too late, though, if he'll agree to at least hear you out. Well then, by all means, continue pulling. Let's see where this shit takes us. You'll be right back, you tell him. I'll be right here, just chilling and contemplating existence and my place in it, no worries. The zap this time is even more disorienting than your sideway universe zaps. You know why, though, since you know everything. You're not sure you're supposed to be here, but Ultimate Dirk already accused you of fucking shit up. So why not fuck shit up a little harder? Esse protagonista do jogo tá ficando muito bom, né? You want to go pick up this person, and specifically this version of this person. The version you made friends with already isn't ready to meet Dirk yet, probably. But thanks to your recent mind freak, you remember that this one, having lost his Dirk, might be a little more interested. Oh. Whoa, who the fuck are you? Okay, that answers the question. You guess you've fucked things up to the point that the candy timeline is not the same as the one you were making friends in before. This is probably the stuff Ultimate Dirk's so bent out of shape about fixing. Well, it is what it is. You didn't have time to come up with your elevator pitch, but you work best at full power to empathy, zero to planning, so here you go. Hey, you tell him. Sorry to intrude, but you have a pretty big favor to ask of him. You know he doesn't know you, but you know an alternate version of him that lives outside canon. You met and went to Olive Garden and made friends, and you promise you're a legit... Bro, you said Olive Garden, you got me. That's like a magic word to get me to trust you implicitly. Don't spread that around, though. Also, you look like someone aren't the mayor, so that's like a million more points in your favor. And I'm doing dick else that's useful all day. Or any day, to be real with you. So what's the favor? Oh, great. The favor is that you need to borrow him for like a quick minute so he can help you have a conversation with your universe's Dirk. At the second of Dirk's name, he goes still. See, Dirk's convinced he needs to take the advice of yet another universe way shittier Dirk and retcon your whole friendship mission so that it can go off and make canon happen, which ends pretty badly for a lot of people, your friends involved. And now that you know that, you really want him to just side with you and let everyone chill and hang out and live their lives, and you're not sure of all the details about how that will work yet, but the point is that Dirk... Great. Sick. Yes. Okay. You take his hand and off you go. Bom, eu vou salvar o jogo aqui e eu vou continuar na quarta-feira daqui. Já deu pra jogar uma grande parte da rota do Dirk, que eu acho que é enorme. Então eu espero ter conseguido fazer quase a metade dela. Então é isso, na quarta-feira a gente volta com o restinho do jogo. E daí eu finalmente vou fechar mais um jogo. Aí depois talvez eu entre numa semana de férias, não sei ainda. Ai, mas a live de hoje rendeu, né? Obrigada pelo abraço, irmão. Arigato. Era exército, pessoal. Obrigada aí pela companhia de todos. Sim, ele parece o Carlos, né? O próprio Carlos já falou isso uma vez pra mim. Lembra um pouco. Mas é isso aí, gente. A gente se vê na quarta-feira, se der tudo certo. E... valeu pela companhia. Vejo vocês depois. Qualquer coisa eu tô lá nas redes. Tchau, tchau, tchau.